Happy Thursday. I'm the Grace Strega, and I'm here to give you your daily collective read for today, Thursday, September 25th, 2025. We are going to get started on today's daily collective read in the next few minutes. But if you would like to get on the list for a personal reading, the list, as always, is open. As always, it is 3 cards for a donation of 29 or more. 4 cards for a donation of 23 or more for my subscribers. Links in my bio. Please keep in mind there are 2 things I do not read for across these apps, pregnancy and medical. Happy to give insight on anything in private readings, and you can book private readings on my site. We are also doing 2 giveaways today. Our first reading giveaway will be a reading giveaway when we get to 50K likes. So I'm wishing you a lot of luck if you're participating in that giveaway. The other giveaway we'll be doing today is going to be a reading giveaway for the highest gifter between now and the conclusion of the daily collective read. So I wish you a lot of luck if you're participating in that giveaway as well. Before we get started on today's daily collective read, I will be giving a brief recap on what we've been seeing in the cards over the last few days. If you're interested in finding that full reading, you can find it over on the place where we keep the videos. You can also find it over on the place where we keep the photos. You can also find it as a podcast over on my spot at Tarot Church and over on my stack. But before we begin, most important question, how are we doing? Scale of 1 to 10, there are no wrong answers. We are making our way away from the eclipse energy that we were just experiencing over the last couple of weeks. We had that very intense new moon in Virgo, which may have felt a lot like a full moon. We're also kind of going through the fact that we're still deep within a very, very intense retrograde season. So I like to describe this often when we're going through full moon cycles. I like to describe the time after the full moon as like the full moon hangover to a certain extent. We're kind of having an eclipse hangover right now. It can sometimes create feelings of feeling washed out, feelings of exhaustion, feeling, that there's a weariness that sometimes can set in when we're in a retrograde cycle as long as this one. Because the thing you have to understand is it's very typical for there potentially to be 1, potentially 2 planets in retrograde. We've got a lot of different objects in retrograde. And I keep on saying objects because it's not just the planets. There are planetary objects that are currently also in retrograde. And the majority of those are in Aries, which can create a lot of frustration as it relates to the timing that things are taking, as it relates to feeling energetically irritable, as it relates to feeling more argumentative. Making sure that you're expressing things from a place of compassion, remembering that compassion doesn't mean having to be absolutely nice about everything. Compassion means being able to communicate upon why you feel the way you do. Now, this is having a big impact depending on where one finds oneself on the frequency cycles. We're seeing a lot of fragmentation right now that is occurring in separation. A big reason why we're seeing that right now specifically is because we noticed a shift in terms of the lessons that are currently occurring in separation. The closing out of the temperance partnerships that was effectively happening from between the solstice period up until Uranus went retrograde right before this eclipse cycle has allowed us to move into a new energetic cycle, appears to be moon cycles. Now, the thing with moon cycle partnerships is they bring out a lot of personal introspection. There's a lot of energy right now in separation that may be healing or recovering from the understanding that often we sometimes get injured or hurt in relationships, not necessarily because someone intends to do so, but more because when we're not doing our shadow work appropriately, our embodiment does not match our manifestations. It's not just enough to desire something, but one must move in accordance to it. So for a lot of the energy right now, I'm basically seeing 3 different tiers of energy that is effectively in separation. There is some energy of restoration that is potentially occurring right now in this energy. The restoration we're seeing is working through what time can actually heal. Now, time can actually heal situations and circumstances where we bring an overabundance of emotionality to something that is not significant and important. So that ability of taking accountability, having conversations, potentially even healing from issues that occurred in a different eclipse cycle, because that overproportionality that we often see is characteristic of the energy that we often find within the matrix of the eclipses. That ability of being able to speak towards how one is working to change or potentially trying to do a lot of work on the temperament. We do see the fact that there is restoration there, but I will say that is a very small portion. We're also seeing that there's some fundamental closures of energetic cycles that are happening at this time. And a big reason we're seeing those fundamental closures is the showing of what time cannot heal. Because in circumstances or situations where we feel a lot of emotionality or we feel energetically triggered, but there's something important at stake, effectively a standard, it's the lesson that we're supposed to have triggers. Our job is not to try to get rid of all of our triggers. You don't have any triggers, you don't care about things, but rather the ability to articulate upon why a trigger is important. The ability to understand the trigger protects the standard. The trigger that protects the standard becomes the boundary. So for a lot of the energy, if these are circumstances or situations where another person moved away from someone and was trying to articulate that they were being emotional, they may be coming back, and they're coming back during this eclipse cycle to see if something can be healed. It's almost like check. This is the energy that's recognizing the difference between restoration and mollification. Restoration is being able to articulate upon what one is working to change, being able to advance forward. Whereas mollification is potentially trying to see if something can be smoothed out upon, not necessarily energetically addressing it. And that's why we see that for a lot of these relationships, feeling that change, feeling that, seeing and working through the potential disappointment of something, not the fact that there wasn't a desire for someone to come back, but not coming back in the space by which you would aspire for them to be healed, not desiring the same manifestation goals as the self. There may be something there that feels very disheartening. There may be something there that feels very frustrating, but it's also potentially feeling very cathartic because it's helping one relieve trauma in terms of understanding why something wasn't working in the first place. This brings us to those relationships that are coming together right now. And I see a lot of trepidation in the beginning of these partnership cycles. As I mentioned, these are relationships that have been hurt before, potentially from, and especially from situations of another person not embodying their manifestation goal, articulating the desire for something, but not having done the shadow, not even lying about it, but not having done the shadow work effectively to recognize the fact that in order to facilitate a manifestation goal, there needs to be a desire to change. So for a lot of those relationships right now, there's almost a feeling out process that is occurring, kind of working into the context of not just speaking towards one another to see if what they're saying or what they articulate that they say, but seeing if they know what it means in terms of what they say, trying to seek comprehension in the language of the manifestation. This brings us to those temperance relationships that were coming together from about the time of the solstice period up until the time of Uranus going into retrograde, right before that eclipse cycle. These relationships right now are potentially, and it was interesting because I was reading for it yesterday, and the best way I can describe it is it felt like a solar plexus opening. For a lot of these relationships, there may have been an ability to kind of gloss over or talk very, talk very lightly in relationality to trauma from the past. And we see even now that there may be the space by which they're expositing more upon one another, and that's not due to the fact that they were trying to hide something from each other, but because it's the observation that when we're healing from trauma, there is a season for what we do with it. There's a season to be able to unpack it where we effectively center it, and then there's the season that we put it away, because in the space by which we don't allow it to be centered, it allows us to be able to proceed forward. So for a little bit of this energy right now, we're effectively seeing that ability to feel that they've reached a point in a relationship where they don't feel like the articulation of the trauma is going to harm the partnership that they're creating. It isn't going to become the center or the source of the relationship. We see even now that there may be a lot of that unpacking, kind of telling each other the gory details. Because the one thing I was reading for yesterday is some of these temperance relationships that are coming together right now. They have really, really, really been through it. And then there's a little bit of that space by which is the articulation of the fact that they didn't articulate fully upon that because they didn't want to put that trauma upon the counterpart. This brings us to the energy that is deep within divine union. For the purposes of our readings, we always read for the energy that most recently moved deep into divine union. And those were those magician partnerships that were coming together from a period of the solstice up until the time of Mercury and Venus stationing direct behind Neptune. For a lot of these relationships, the authenticity of self is allowing for a true connection. These are relationships that are potentially have been in relationship before, but they've never centered like they are now. And feeling the centering of partnership and recognizing how it's affecting the orbit around a relationship It's bittersweet because they're effectively going through a maturation process, and they're learning the understanding upon why we sometimes can't touch some of Saturn's lessons. Why can't we touch some of Saturn's lessons? Because for some of these relationships, the ability to move towards one another and center each other feels like a point of celebration. But if another person is going through a moment of rumination and seeing that occurring, it's the understanding that sometimes when you try to, you can't have a conversation to change another person's feelings. There's only one person, there's only one thing that can change someone's feelings, and that is effectively time. So we see even now that in a way, it's almost like, again, and this makes a lot of sense given the fact that Saturn is dipped back into Pisces. For a lot of these relationships that are moving deep into divine union right now, it may almost feel akin to a Saturn return that they're experiencing, because it's the observation of seeing something outside of partnership, recognizing they can't touch it because they're familiar with it. They remember a time when they themselves felt that way. That is where we find all of the energy prior to beginning today's daily collective read. But let me know in the comments how this energy is impacting you personally. If you would like to find this full reading, you can find it over on the place where we keep the videos. You can also find it over on the place where we keep the photos. You can also find it as a podcast over on my spot at Tarot Church and over on my stack. That said, we are going to get started on today's daily collective read in the next few minutes. But if you would like to get on the list for today, the list, as always, is open. As always, it is 3 cards for a donation of $29 or more, 4 cards for a donation of $23 or more for my subscribers, links in my bio. Please keep in mind, there are 2 things I do not read for across these apps: pregnancy and medical. Happy to give insight on anything in private readings, and you can book private readings on my site. I'm going to take a moment to read over some of the comments that came through as I was reading. Also, friends, please remember we've got 2 different giveaways that are happening today. Our first reading giveaway is going to be a giveaway when we get to 50K likes. We are already at 1.6K, so thank you so much for helping us get to that 50K goal. The other gift we're doing right now is a free reading for the highest gifter between now and the conclusion of the daily collective read. So I wish you a lot of luck if you're participating in that as well. Welcome, Corinne from France. I hope you're having an absolutely beautiful day. Welcome to anyone joining us across the other apps. You can also get on the list by my tree that has links in it in my bio. Good to see you today, Rosa. How are you doing today, Dree? Welcome, Bridget. How are you doing, dear? And thank you for sharing the live. Always appreciate when you guys share the live. Hi, Esteban. How are you doing? You should have access to the disco now. Let me know if that's the case. And excellent. I've never been this early. Hi, good job, Rosa. I'm proud of you. I discoed you my reading. Thank you. I saw it, Figs, and I've got you on the list, second person read for. If there's anyone else who is on the hold list who would like to be removed off the hold list and added back to the list, please make sure that you comment in the comments so that I can add you back if you want to secure that spot. And if you want to get on the list right now, it is an absolutely beautiful time to get on the list. You will be the third person read for. Attend today. That is wonderful to hear. Anna, thank you for the follow. Almost a 9. We like that too. Grand Rising Witches, good to see you. You are second on the list today, Figs. I've got Claire first. And how are you doing? Grand Rising, Figs, good to see you. It was a feisty last few days. Boss, coworkers, parents, no thank you. I mean, it's feisty energy right now. We're going to continue to have feisty energy so long as we see all these planets retrograding in Aries. And that the eclipse was not helping things. And Witches, thank you so much for sharing the live, dear. I hope you're doing well. Welcome, dear. Excellent. How are you doing? Welcome, Crow. I've been good. I feel bad for all the peeps around me. Thank you for those roses, Witches. I was doing great, and then bam. Ooh, oh, sending you so much support, Fig. Forever. Oh, thank you so much. I deeply appreciate you, Witches. Guys, make sure to give Witches some love, okay? And Crow, thank you for the follow. It's been dog food since Thursday. Oh, I'm sending you so much support, Figs. We'll get that reading and see what's coming up. Don't worry, I went through it at the beginning of the month. Thank you guys for supporting each other in the comments. I think the lowest point for me this month was around the 10th and 11th, but now I'm me again. I'm very happy to hear that, Bridget. Grand Rising Celestial, good to see you today. I'm trying to see the positives, but lots of confrontations as to where I'm at. Continue to focus on those positives. I know it's not easy. Welcome, dear. And Grand Rising Minnie, good to see you as well. Got a lot of anxiety over stability and time last night. Well, as I said, dear, if you want to get on the list, we can definitely read for it. But I want you to be focusing on those lists and focusing on those plans. I'm part of the Cool Kids Club. I'm so glad to hear that, Esteban. I'm glad we were able to get that resolved. Can you use your one card for it? You mean you want to add an additional card to your reading? Yeah, I'm comfortable with doing that. Okay, perfect. And what's up, little vamp? Good to see you today. Your subscription's ending soon. If you would like to renew, please remember, friends, we are also going to be coming back online later this evening to do free one card readings for all of my super fans. So if you are a super fan, make sure that you're recharging your subscription. And if you'd like to become a super fan, you can do so and you'll be eligible to also receive a one card in that live. Oh, yes. How was the date? We want tea. Cracker Jack, thank you for the follow as well. As I mentioned, friends, we are going to get started on today's daily collective read in the next few minutes. A couple of updates before we begin. First and foremost, I want to thank everybody who attended our recent class on the star card. Our next class is going to be held on Wednesday, October 15th at 6 p.m. PST, 9 p.m. Eastern. We will be continuing our studies into the tarot with a focus on the moon card. I'm so excited to teach this class. We're going to study about the history of the card, the symbology of the card. We're going to be working through spread applications, how you can read that card in any direction it might appear in your own readings. I'm also going to be presenting you a unique spread that you can utilize to channel the messages of the moon card into your own readings. And all you need to do if you'd like to become that part of that tarot class program is head on over to my stack and become a paid subscriber. Your paid subscription to my stack is your ticket of entry into our live classes each and every month. You will also, as a monthly subscriber, have access to over 9 hours worth of material in the Tarot Church Library Class Archive. Now, it's not necessary to catch up. I'll be doing my best to give you an update on everything we've studied prior to beginning that class. But if you wanted to catch up, now is the time to join, because you've got over a whole month of runway to be able to take as many of those classes as you desire until we lead up into that next class. You'll also have access to a one-on-one chat with me and the other students to ask any questions that you may have in relation to anything we've learned or studied thus far. And if you become a founding member to my stack, not only will you receive a discount on the full year's worth of classes, but you will also receive full access to the entirety of the Tarot Church Library Class Archive. That is access to over 19 hours worth of material in an ever expanding library. You'll also have access to the option of receiving a complimentary one-on-one mentorship class with me, where I will meet with you personally to assess where you are on your own personal tarot journey and give you the best insights in terms of how to utilize those classes to the best of your advantage moving towards your tarot goals going forward. One of the things I tried to do in these classes was make them accessible to the absolute novice tarot reader as well as the seasoned reader. There's definitely something there for everyone. Don't let your lack of experience or your robust experience prevent you from joining us in these classes. And even if you don't become a paid subscriber to my stack, I would encourage you to follow me there to stay up to date on any new offerings or services. I also post my weekly newsletter there, which will let you know about my in-person events as well as my online live schedule. You'll also be notified as to my mystic meditation articles. I release those bi-monthly. I just wrote one this weekend, helping us navigate this new moon energy that we're currently experiencing. I also want to let you guys know that on top of my standard life path readings, I also offer mentorship classes. These are for any students that are seeking a more personalized educational experience with me. I take a very limited number of students for this reason, as those classes are focused on each individual's personal spiritual goals and journey work. Those classes can be purchased on an individual level or as a monthly class series, weekly or bi-weekly as your schedule permits. Also, for my students seeking more consistent weekly tarot support, I'm very happy to offer weekly tarot insight packages. That is a package of 4 30-minute readings, again, weekly or bi-weekly as your schedule permits, so that you can stay more consistent on your personal journey. I'm also very happy to now offer dream interpretation readings, which you can purchase per dream or as a series. If you purchase a series, I would encourage you to start to keep a dream journal, as we will meet weekly or bi-weekly with that journal and utilize the tarot to understand the key themes and messages coming towards you in the dream space. That said, if you want to get on the list right now, it is a wonderful time to get on the list. The list is nice and short. 3 cards for a donation of $29 or more 4 cards for a donation of 23 or more for my subscribers. Links in my bio. Please keep in mind there are 2 things I don't read for across these apps, pregnancy and medical. Happy to give insight on anything in private readings, and you can book private readings on my site. How are you doing today, little vamp? So good to see you. And again, thank you so much, Witches, for those roses. Thank you so much. You'll see why when you read what I sent you and use it. And I can use it as outside tea. Good to know, Figs. Thank you. I appreciate that. Oh, exciting, Minnie. Pumpkin carving. Slow and steady. Absolutely. Yes, I'm still learning how this can be more fun. I want to run. Sending you so much support on that journey, Minnie. As I mentioned, friends, we are going to get started. But before we begin, why don't we warm up those intuition muscles with a bit of an intuition check. All right, I'm going to be pulling the animal spirit guide cards here. We're going to count back from 10. When we get to 1, I will reveal the card. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The bee. Thank you guys for participating. We'll do that again after the next reading. That said, as I mentioned, if you guys could do me a favor and share this live, I would deeply appreciate it. Make sure anybody who would like to catch this reading live is here to receive it. Please also remember, we are doing a giveaway right now, a free reading for the highest gifter. That is now activated. When currently the person in the lead for that is, it's Bridget at 312. So wishing you guys luck. That said, no better time than the present. Why don't we oh, you booked a reading. I'm so glad to hear that, Monica. Looking forward to it. That said, no better time than the present. Why don't we get started? Welcome, everyone. Happy Thursday. I'm the Grace Strega, and I'm here to give you your daily collective read for today, Thursday, September 25th, 2025. What do we have coming through in the cards for today? Can I please have the first 2 cards in our 5-card spread? First 2 cards we are starting our day off with today are the Knight of Cups in its reversal in combination with the Sun card. I'm going to tell you right now, we're going through the doldrums of the retrograde. You know, the one thing I will point out with this, what I want to point out that we were experiencing during this recent eclipse retrograde cycle was the incongruity of the energy that we were experiencing. There was an incongruous quality to the fact that we were entering the eclipse cycle with so many planets in retrograde. It was also somewhat incongruous in the fact that we were experiencing it during Virgo season. So potentially working through like a lot of the energy, that type of energy going through Virgo season is not ideal. I was describing it as rough as I felt it was for those with Pisces placements who are going through Pisces season this year, with all of those planets exiting Pisces during the same time as Pisces season. Perfect is not found. It's made. It's something that we create with our own hands. It's navigated by what we do. It's navigating with how we do things. And it's very typical when we come, and I was even saying this, I know everybody's always stressed out about the eclipse cycle proper, but I get very stressed out or concerned energetically right in the time after an eclipse, because it's a come down energy, right? It's like the lights go on. It's like things feel like sometimes it's like navigating the shift out of eclipse back into kind of a normal energetic moment. But the hurdle about this one particularly, I keep on describing it like it's a little bit of like an elevator drop, because not only are we coming out of the eclipse cycle, but all that retrograde energy is still there. So it can do a number on us. So making sure that you're resting, making sure that you're prioritizing resting, care of self, make sure, and especially in the space of one's emotions. Because one of the things that we've been seeing a lot in relationality to this eclipse cycle has to do, it's been a continuing conversation upon the difference between the emotions, like how we effectively, and this has been happening for a while now, how we effectively honor our emotions. Honoring our emotions does not require us to be energetically nice about things. It doesn't require us to have to be put on like a sunny disposition about every single thing. And in fact, being able to articulate and speak upon our own energetic frustration in relationality to things is how we're able to move into more productive spaces and places. So I think that one of the things I keep on seeing that's happening right now, this is a lot of that granularity. Granularity has just been coming through over and over and over in these reads right now. And the reason we see so much of that granularity that's occurring right now across the frequencies, and particularly for the energy and separation, is working through, and I keep on seeing this, there is some energy and separation that is working through the observation of the difference between, I keep on hearing, being the difference between being hurt intentionally, right? The hurt that another puts upon us via their own deception, right? Like the overt deception outside of the self versus the internal deception, right? And what does it mean when we're experiencing that internal deception? It's the space by which we articulate that we desire something, but then we don't move in accordance to it, right? It's a lot of that. It's a lot of that work in terms of identifying how we're energetically standing in our own way. Now, we are all none of us are none of us are like inured to that occurring. That is something that can effectively happen in any context. But this is why we often talk about the fact that we do our shadow work a lot, because again, understanding that shadow work isn't some like spooky, scary name. I know it sounds intimidating, but it's really just it's understanding and working through one's own aversions. Because when we understand ourselves, then we move in accordance with our manifestation goals. We're in alignment to them. Because often when we're not, we will say and say and say and say and say that we desire something, and then we will do absolutely nothing about it, right? It's like the space by which it's the space by which we often feel that the lack of shadow work makes us feel like we're effectively standing in quicksand. So, I keep on seeing, and this is really important because when I talked about the fact that we see at least three different tiers right now for energy and separation, I feel like this is a big topic of conversation. Now, for the energy, right? And I keep on seeing this for the energy that's restoring right now in separation, I can almost hear the energy say, I could not see how I was standing in my own way, right? I identify that I do see like a small portion of energy right now coming into restoration. And this is the quality of that restoration. There's no letting anything go. These are not relationships of coming back together and just letting something go. It's the understanding. I keep on hearing, like, it's the understanding of someone saying, like, that was energetically uncalled for, or that is something that wouldn't necessarily feel or be something that would feel effectively productive. So, for a lot of the energy right now, that ability to articulate upon that, there's energy taking accountability for past version of self where an individual brought an over proportionality to something that was minor or non-important, that is allowing something to be able to be healed. But you have to understand that even in the context of that, there's a lot of potential trepidation that's occurring because it's easy to articulate something versus being able to move in accordance to it. What time cannot heal are situations and circumstances wherein something feels energetically difficult, right? We work through the keep on hearing, we work through the energetic violation of a standard that feels like that caused us to have a lot of feelings around it. And this is why if there's energy trying to come back towards another and mollify in the midst of that energy, instead of having a conversation, this could be the fundamental closure of those energetic cycles. It's just a lot of that space. I just keep on saying and I feel like the thing about it is for a lot of those relationships, I just see the energy that's just like, and I keep on hearing like it's devastating, and I feel like there's like almost like a devastation point there, right? Like I keep on hearing the energy is saying they're devastated, but I need to point out like the devastation that they're articulating. The fact I keep on hearing the fact that saying that they're devastated almost speaks to the fact that they've accepted, like they've effectively accepted it. Because I keep on hearing like the like this I keep on hearing like the fact that we like even I keep on hearing even in the fact that they're saying that they're devastated, they're letting it go because they're talking about it to others, right? They're expressing, I keep on hearing like they're expressing their energetic disappointment, as it were. So there's something there that's important, because I keep on hearing it's I keep on hearing it's devastating, but it's cathartic, right? It's working through it's working through the understanding of what one was hoping to see, and then immediately feeling the energetic relief in relationality to it. It's just like I keep on seeing like, and I need to describe this. It's not, I keep on hearing for some of the energy and separation, it wasn't the fact that they were waiting for something, but they were holding on hope, right? There's a difference between waiting versus being hopeful that something could reach a better point of effective healing. Now, for the energy that is deep within divine union, what we're effectively like, they're not the energy, and it's funny that I said the energy deep within divine union, because the thing about the energy and separation right now is that's building into partnership. The reason I was saying that they're deep within divine union is because they're utilizing their understanding of the work of what it feels like to be in divine union as a template for those relationships. There's a lot of trepidation. I can see that the energy is moving towards each other very slowly, because they're holding each other, they're holding themselves in high reverence. And the reason they're holding themselves in high reverence is because they are healing they are healing from experiences wherein potentially another person articulated that they desired something, but they weren't necessarily moving in accordance to it. And so that's why I keep on seeing that there's like, it's like the trepidation that's there, but it's a trepidation not in the fact that they don't want something, but they're trying to ascertain and make sure that the energy that they're moving towards isn't isn't in the same modality, right? They're not in the same modality by which they're working to heal something. They're not in the space by which they're recognizing or identifying something that they're working to do in a different way, and thereby allowing the space to which they are able to like effectively art like talk to, and I keep on hearing like they're exploring each other's books, but the reason they're exploring each other's books, as it were, is because it's like they're getting granular. They're like they're hearing what they say that they desire, but then they're getting granular in terms of how they move or what they do to see if something they're doing is in accordance with what they say that that they're moving towards. Now, moving into those temperance relationships, so these are specifically for our purposes, the relationships that were coming together between the time that Uranus was in retrograde up until the space of the space of the solstice. Yeah, we like that. We like it. We like a 10 of swords and its reversal. Like this is I'm finally ready to tell you kind of energy. I'm finally ready to share something with you. And I keep on hearing that you have to understand when I keep on saying they're finally ready to share. The reason they're saying that they're finally ready to share, it's not the fact that they were withholding. Okay, there's a difference here. We are going through Uranus in Gemini, so there's going to be a lot of clarification in terms of the difference between things. The difference between withholding and being, I keep on hearing, and being prudent is what I keep on seeing. These are temperance relationships. They were being prudent as it relates to speaking upon their trauma, because I keep on hearing a trauma that they put away is not something that they want to bring up every day. And I keep on hearing like that. And I keep on getting to, it's not the fact that trauma, they're trauma informed, but they're not trauma centered. Right. And what does it mean when one is trauma informed? They've done the work to unpack the trauma. They've gone through it, but and now they're trying to move like I keep wondering that they've gone through it so that they can move beyond it. They carry it with them, but they don't effectively center it. And that's why I keep on seeing it's like a lot of that work in terms of articulating on the trauma was building into, this is why I was calling it a solar plexus awakening, because a solar plexus awakening can often be like, I'm finally ready to tell you, right? I'm finally ready to tell you that there's something like that there like the heavy details, as it were, to something that effectively happened behind them. And I keep on seeing that that was the moment, that the reason that they hadn't shared that so much is because they didn't want to burden each other with their trauma. So there's a lot of that. I keep on seeing there's a lot of that. There's a lot of that unpacking there. But it feels like, I keep on hearing, it's like the energy that says, I'm finally ready to tell you, and I'm glad I got that off my chest, because it's the space by which another person is able to articulate like the full intensity of something that happened to them, that's building into the space of trust between them. This brings us into the energy that is deep within divine union right now. And for the purposes of our reading today, those are those magician partnerships that were coming together from between the solstice period up until the time of Mercury and Venus stationing direct behind Neptune. Woo! We got a Tower card and its reversal, and a and a five. Yeah, this makes sense. And a Five of Wands, and it's upright. Remember? Yeah, like, so what we're effectively seeing here is this is the problem. It's giving me that they see a problem they can't touch. They see a problem they can't touch. It's Saturn's problem, right? And when you see Saturn's problem, you can't touch Saturn's problems. You touch Saturn's problems, you make them worse. If you touch Saturn's problems, Saturn might not be able to fix them. Is what I keep on saying. They're going through this and they're articulating because they remember, right? I keep on hearing the space. They've never centered like this before. They've never been in a relationship that they've centered, and they're seeing the orbit around the partnership change in the wake of the centering. And they're going through the moment of seeing potentially energy that's in their fields in a space that they shouldn't be in their fields. And so when you go through those moments, like, what are you going to do? Like, the energy is not looking at each other and saying, like, let's get out of partnership. Like, that would be absurd. And so that's why they're saying to one another that they're working through a maturation cycle, which is potentially something that and this is why we talk about maturation cycles, or working through Saturn's lessons, because Saturn's lessons are look but don't touch. No touchy touchy, no touchy touchy. And why is it no touchy touchy? Because if someone is going through their emotions, if they're deep in their feels, if there's a moment of celebration you're having, and somebody else is going through the motions of devastation, putting your hands all over it isn't going to make the devastation go away. It might make it worse. So I see a lot of that energy that's potentially having to make that hard choice, giving space to something, right? Giving space and healing their relationship with Saturn in the process, being like, yo, can you handle that? Can you handle that, please? Right? And that's the hope that I keep on hearing. Like, it's the hope that says, I need to stay away, but perhaps the day will come that that's not necessarily something that needs to occur, right? It's like a lot of that space, or that force of patience. Continuing to get clarification between our Knight of Cups and its reversal in combination with our Sun card and its upright, back to the energy and separation. Woo la la! What is going on in separation? This is nice. This is having a different impact on masculine and feminine energy. Where's Venus right now? What's going on with Venus? Uh-huh. Um, I need to check something. I feel like something's happening with Venus right now. Okay, so, and I think that one of the things I'm seeing is it's feeling it's feeling very mysterious in here, is what I'm getting. And I feel like the reason, like, one of the things I think that we're seeing here um has to do, I'm just checking something because I'm trying to get a sense of, oh yeah. Um there's Mercury is gonna be in Scorpio soon. Okay. So, one of the things I think is happening, it's catharsis. Okay. So one of the things that's happening right now is, and I want to describe this, these new relationships that are starting right now are kind of starting in the heart of catharsis. And what do we mean by starting in the heart of catharsis? They're starting in the heart of catharsis because um, it's a very, very heavy lesson. It's a very heavy lesson to work through for some of the energy that is in separation right now, working through the lesson that sometimes another person does not have any intention of hurting you, but the danger by which they can hurt you is the space by which they don't know themselves. That's a heavy lesson. I can't overly stress how what kind of like it's an existential lesson, right? It's requiring it requires the observation of seeing the true devastation point of not doing one shadow work effectively. And the problem is you can't look at someone and be like, how much shadow work have you done? You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like, maybe we can someday, but like it's not something that you can immediately identify and recognize. And so like it's like, I feel like that's what I mean in terms of these relationships. They're sussing each other out. And the reason, and I feel like there's a little bit of like there's a little, and it's that Mars energy. It's a little bit of that. There's a little bit of this, tension in these relationships. There's a little bit of this, like I mean, you guys aren't seeing it in the podcast. I'm jerking my shoulders a little bit. There's a little bit of this, like there's a little bit of this try me energy, but I need to stress this when someone when it's almost giving me like but here's the thing about it, and this is what I mean about these moon partnerships that are starting right now, which is like, it's giving me like a little bit of this, like the shoulder jerk of recognition. But then there's also the recognition, like but then also the comprehension of understanding, like, and I feel like that's the thing that's interesting about it is the energy is wary but hopeful, and they're asking each other the right energetic questions to be able to ascertain and determine. I keep on hearing the difference, but the difference between comprehension and understanding, right? That's what I keep on seeing that is happening right now. Like it's like this is like the fundamental, like this is what's happening in those relationships. The difference between hearing something and knowing something, like the difference between being able to like I keep on hearing like pick up, like the difference between like being able to pick up jargon versus the ability to effectively understand, the ability to understand what something means, or the full like enormity of like a manifestation goal. So that's what I keep on seeing is happening right now with a lot of these new relationships. They're wary but hopeful, and there's almost like a little bit of a playful quality to it. There's almost like a little bit of this playful quality in terms of like in terms of the space by which they're moving, like they're moving towards each other with a little bit of that vibration of anticipation. Now, for the energy right now and for the energy and for the energy that's in separation right now, this is also why, like I'm getting here, and for the energy that's working towards restoration, and I keep on seeing it's a very small portion of energy and separation working on restoration right now. And I need to stress this. I keep on seeing that's what I mean about this being a period of catharsis and contemplation, because it's not a period of activation. Because I keep on hearing some of these energies right now in separation have received true apologies. And what do we mean by a true apology? A true apology has no strings attached to it. That's what's so beautiful about some of these apologies that I'm seeing right now. Like a true apology doesn't have any strings attached to it. It almost is the energy that I see another saying to another person, I need you to know, like I need you to know that I have changed, or I need you to know that something has occurred. And I keep on hearing like there's something like that like it almost feels like some kind of period of rest right now as that moment of contemplation occurs. Now this brings us to the energy, to the temperance relationships, clarification between our sun card and that 10 of swords and its upright. I got, oh, another 10. Ooh, another 10. 10 of wands in its reversal. I like this. I mean, listen, beyond the five of, like, we'll talk about that 5 of wands off in the corner, but the center cards here, we got double tens in the center. both the tens we want in the reversal. We got the Tower card in its reversal. It's like this is the energy of getting back to normal. But I need to stress it's like not normal though, because Pluto. I mean, it's not normal, but it's like I want to say like the thing I keep on seeing in relationality to something here is, and that's what I meant about these temperance relationships, is I keep on hearing, I'm finally ready to tell you, is about that normalcy. You know what I mean? That I'm finally ready to tell you is the space by which the energy is articulating. I keep on hearing they're divulging each other to each other more about themselves, almost as a gift to tell each other how much they mean to one another, right? And I keep on saying, like, I keep on seeing that it's hard because I almost see the energy being like, and I keep on, and this is what I mean. This is what I mean about Uranus and Gemini. This is not, I need to stress this. You have to be clear about this. This is not energy that was trying to be deceptive. You understand what I'm saying here? This is not energy that was not telling someone something important. It's energy that was glossing over the details of how bad something was, to be able to spare each other the pain. And so in the journey of coming together, that pain was not energetically centered in the space of getting to know one another. So that's why I keep on seeing that. I keep on saying it felt like a solar plexus awakening, because it's the energy that's like it's like it would rather they don't they, it's like it's not something that they like to talk about, but they're doing so because they feel the other should know how they feel, is what I keep on seeing. Well, for the energy that is deep within divine union, these magician partnerships are cracking me up here. We got two cards coming out. I'm sorry, I started laughing because I said that, and as soon as I did, the magician card in its reversal popped up. We got the magician card in its reversal with the eight of cups in in its reversal, because they're tearing their hair out. This is driving them nuts. They're going through deja vu in the highest degree. They're going, I can't believe this is happening. And the reason they're saying the reason they can't believe it's happening is because they remember when they're like, they're not only they're now going through the double force. They're going through the double force of moving deeper into divine union, and they're having a Saturn return moment. Like they're moving into divine union and they're having a Saturn return. And it's like, and it's creating a lot of that feeling of energetic frustration, because it's really aggravating when you see something and it's like see something, can't say something. It's see something, can't say something. It's seeing something happening before them in partnership, and potentially talking about the fact that it's happening. They're talking very clearly to each other about the fact that it's occurring. And they're repeating to each other the same lesson, the same message, which you can't touch Saturn's lessons. You can't touch no touchy touchy, no touchy touchy. You touch it, it's gonna get worse. Don't touch it. It's gonna nope. You're just gonna now it's not gonna heal, right? It's a lot of that type of energy there. It's a lot of that type of energy, and the recognition or understanding. Like I keep on seeing, if somebody's all up in their feels, I keep on hearing, if someone navigates celebration, if someone navigates celebration and you see them like brooding on it or ruminating, like they're like, we can't, like can't touch that, can't touch it, can't touch it, can't touch it. And they remember, but here's the thing, they also remember the time that they're recounting to each other experiences where they remember feeling that way. Welcome to Wisdom Land, population 2. You know what I mean? Like it's like continuing, and I can see the edit. It's just like but they're frustrated about it. This is why, like, wisdom's frustrating. You know, like what we say with wisdom, you're gonna know, but you're gonna be really mad about it. Continuing to get clarification between our Tower card and its reversal, in combination with our Five of Wands and its upright. We've got here. Oh, look at this! This is important. We got some important cards here. So we've got here our 10. We've got our Knight of Pentacles. We've got our Knight of Pentacles and it's upright. We like to see a Knight of Pentacles and it's upright. And the thing with the Knight of Pentacles and it's upright is we had the Knight of Pentacles. We had the Knight of Pentacles. It wasn't yesterday, but it was the day before. It was our Pinnacle card. it was the pinnacle. And I like and the Knight of Pentacles here, we like to see this because this to me is the Libra energy coming in, which is like focusing on the practical, right? The practical concern. And honestly, like I keep on seeing like for a lot of the energy that is like, and this is moving through the frequencies right now. Um, it's funny because I keep on hearing like it's not about getting back to normal. It's just getting back to whatever this is. It's what I keep on hearing. Getting back to whatever this is. But there's something important about that, right? Because and that is a Pluto retrograde for you, right? Like the Pluto retrograde is not getting back to normal. It's just like getting back to weird. Like, back to our normal weird instead of our weird weird. Just like a little bit of normal weird. So we've got a little bit of that energy right now, which is just like I feel like there's something there's something very important. It's not disassociative, it's calibrating, right? It's just it's allowing for a little bit of that energetic calibration. And so for a lot of the energy right now that is kind of like working through that, it's just allowing the space by which one is moving in terms of trying to do something. I keep on seeing like trying to be energetically consistent. And I like this because I feel like I'm seeing um like it's very much about the same messages that I was saying before with energy like this, which is like when things feel confusing, remember who you are, right? Like center, like you don't like when energy around you is being weird, be you, right? Like that's often how we navigate energetic weirdness. We just allow it to effectively not affect our own energetic center. So I almost feel like there's a lot of energy right now that is working through the centering of the self. And I keep on hearing it's not selfish to center the self, okay? The difference between I need to stress this right now because again, Uranus and Gemini, we're going to go through a lot of these type of things. Self-centered is only thinking from the purpose of the self. Self-centered is the space by which we experience things and we're not effectively energetically taking consideration in those around us. Centering in the self, right, is navigating a choice and not being affected by the energy outside the self, but allowing the clarity of insight within to guide the energetic actions without. So I keep on hearing centered in the self, not self-centered. So there's something like there's something very important that I see in relationality to that type of work right now. And that's a kind of like I gotta stress, that's a bit of a gift that Libra brings. That I told you there was a massive shift that we experienced coming out of this eclipse cycle. A lot of things happened all at once. Like, and it's funny. I typically don't say like, look, the plant, like things don't happen and like a switch hits, but there was a little bit of like a switch hits that happened coming out of this eclipse cycle because a couple days before the eclipse cycle, Mercury moved into Libra, right? Eclipse cycle ends. Eclipse cycle ends. New moon, solar eclipse, and then Libra season. So like I gotta stress, typically planets don't, it's not like hitting a switch. But if there was but if there was but if you but if there was that would feel very much like a switch is hit, right? And so I feel like there's a bit of that type of energy there in relationality to working on just being energetically consistent. Now, like, and this is how it's having a different impact on masculine and feminine energy. You know, feminine energy, I'm just going to show you this, bearing in mind this is not based on gender, but what one feels most aligned to. We've got feminine energy that is not, I keep on hearing, um, niceness has nothing to do with it. Like I feel like there's inner child healing that's happening right now in this type of energy. When we have catharsis, there's inner child healing, and effectively Catharsis, like inner child healing for the feminine, is you don't have to be nice about everything, right? Like it's the space. I keep on hearing it's the space. Like I keep on hearing, honesty shouldn't trump niceness. Is what I keep on hearing, right? Like honesty shouldn't try trump niceness, which is the space by which you understand that. I keep on hearing, if it feels like, if it feels like you have to be nice instead of being true, that's not nice, is what I keep on getting. You know, it's a space by which we articulate upon, and I feel like this is important too, because this is a lot of the feminine energy that's healing, and the recognition that hard conversations are gifts that we give to each other, right? Like the gifts that we give to one another. And I keep on hearing, you don't have to have like a mean hard conversation, right? Like you don't have to have like a mean hard conversation, but it's like it's the space by which it's the space by which the space by which we navigate hard things. Like we navigate hard things. When we navigate hard things, we build fabric, right? Because it's the space by which we say, like, look, like this is the energetic standard. This is what I'm like. This is what we're trying to achieve. This is what we're trying to do, right? It allows for a lot of that. I keep wondering, like, it's the niceness. It's the hardness that speaks towards energetic fortitude. And so I feel like there's something important about that, because I keep on seeing that as as it's funny. I said fabric, and then I was trying to say feminine. I said feminine, but it has to do with hemming, right? And this is often what happens when we're being nice. When we're being too nice, we hem, right? Right? You know what I mean? Like, oh, I don't want to come off too strongly. This is feminine being like, my tea. Hello, I'm strong tea. Nice to meet you. I'm sorry. No, it's. I know it's not weak tea. This tea is not for the weak. This tea is not for the weak. And there's something important about that, because I keep on hearing it's not mean, it's hard tea, which is to say it's saying it is not mean to be very energetically direct with someone. And this is what I feel like the feminine is working to heal right now. Masculine, and this is good. We like to see this right now, because it means that masculine and feminine are working on complementary path work. Bearing in mind, this is not based on gender, but what it feels most aligned to. Masculine is looking and saying, I protect feminine strong tea. Is what I keep on saying. This is beautiful. This is what we talk about with counterpart energy, right? Right? We got feminine, right? We got feminine with hard tea, and we got masculine being like, I protect feminine. I like feminine's hard tea. I also protect feminine's hard tea, right? Because that's the masculine that understands when masculine doesn't take things personally. That's how masculine protects feminine strong tea, right? The stable masculine isn't afraid of strong tea. They can drink it. They can- so we've got a little bit of this energy here. Um, Continuing to get clarification between our Empress card in combination with our Ten of Wands in its reversal. One card to clarify, please. Yeah, we've got there it is. Look at that. We've got the Devil card. And this is what I see that is effectively helping feminine heal, right? This is feminine working through the observation that often when we're being sweet as pie to each other, we're not doing each other any favors. You know, there's a falsity, right? There's a like I keep on hearing, the difference between sweet and saccharine is the intentional kindness that we bring to one another. So this is why I keep on seeing that for like a lot of the energy in separation, I feel like this is hard, because you know I almost feel like there's some energy in separation where someone's trying to come back to them, and someone's trying to say, why are you being so mean? And somebody else is saying, I'm not being mean, I'm finally being honest, right? And this is, remember when I talked about the space by which there's some energy right now that is that is that is healing in separation. in relationality to self-deception, if there is the observation that is occurring where someone is trying to come back towards someone and the other energy is being authentic about their feelings, and another person then says, "Why are you being mean?" And energy says, "I'm not being mean. I'm finally being honest." Right? I told you, karmic healing. Karmic healing does not necessarily mean observing what's wrong with another person. You karmically heal when you recognize something that's wrong with the self. When you recognize that there's something that you were doing that was not in the best, like the best direction for you. And that's why I keep on seeing that for some of this energy, like I keep on hearing it's like the energy that hears themselves say that. I'm not being mean. I'm finally being honest. I keep on hearing it's like it's like like it's just like that is the moment where there's potentially the observation, right? I told you these are moon relationships that are coming together right now. So the observation of something that you might not necessarily have realized that you yourself was doing that was causing an energetic friction point in a relationship. So that could be happening a bit too right now for some of those energies that are working through conflict in separation, right? The conversation as to what it means, that the conversation as it relates to the difference between honesty and niceness. This brings us to the energy that and for a lot of these and the thing and remember when I and this makes a lot of sense because remember how I said that I see those relationships coming together, they're not being nice. I told you. I keep on, you guys can't see in the podcast. I keep jerking my shoulders a little bit. There's a little bit of this like try me energy in the start of these relationships. But this is what I'm talking about. Like this is what we can expect with so many of these planets in retrograde right now. Like that somewhat standoffishness is not. I keep wondering. It's not the meanness, right? It's the seeking of honesty. They're being standoffish to each other because they're sussing each other out for honesty. They're working on the wounds of potentially another person articulating that they wanted something only to find that they weren't moving in accordance to it. So for a lot of the energy right now, I keep on hearing it's like, it's like they got their guard up. But I told you, like, look, I told you, every card is important with the cards next to it. A healthy ego is one that is reasonable. It protects the self. So there's something about that there where it feels it's wary for a reason, right? Continuing to get clarification. It's like wary until otherwise proven not. Continuing to get clarification for these temperance relationships between our of Wands, our Magician in its reversal, and our Eight of Cups in its reversal. One card to clarify. Ooh, Star card in its reversal. You know, Star card in its reversal is and I need to point this out. Um the energy that we're currently going through right now doesn't make us feel great. Overall, I told you, there's like a bit of a cranky energy to it. It's cranky. It was cranky energy before we entered the eclipse. We come out of the eclipse, it's back to being cranky because I'm gonna go through the litany of grievances that we've got in this astrology right now. Okay, we got Uranus in retrograde, we got Neptune in retrograde, we got Saturn in retrograde, and the thing about it is, and then Jupiter, and we don't talk about enough about this. Jupiter is in Cancer, and by itself, and Jupiter in Cancer can create a lot of like lonesome feelings. It can create a lot of like contemplation kind of energy. So I feel like it sometimes feels like the energy of disadvantage, as it were, right? Like feeling like going through something and feeling the energetic frustration that something isn't ideal, right? But again, it's more of the continuation of understanding that it's the understanding that perfection is not something that we find, right? We don't look for it on this is a carryover to some of that energy that we just came out of in Virgo season, which is like perfection is not something that we chart on a map. It's something that we create, right? We don't go looking around being like, when's the perfection going to show up? Where's the perfection? We are the perfection, right? Like when we stop waiting for perfection to show up, we make the best of it. We do the things we can. We make the perfection. So we perfect things. So I feel like that's a little bit of the work that we see that's happening right now. And it has to do with the fact is like we just went through, like, I'm not surprised to see the fact that we just went through an eclipse cycle with in Virgo season. And what was the big issue? Ooh, the perfection is coming. The perfection is coming. The perfection. Why didn't the perfection come? What? I don't understand. We're all just sitting here waiting for the perfection to come. Where could the perfection be? Come on, guys. It's within us. It's within us to create. It's what we bring forth. All right. The perfection does not rain down. It comes with it's something that we share between ourselves. So I feel like there's something important in relationality to that, because it's working through the lessons of Virgo season. It's understanding the perfection that we make is often feels like that's the hard part, right? Often the joke about it is like often when you're making perfection, you look at something and you're like, this is terrible. And everyone's like, this is wonderful, because nothing matches your own energetic vision, right? Like, it's like, no, the vision makes everything we do look terrible, even though it's wonderful. Continuing to get clarification on this between our Magician card, our Eight of Cups in its reversal, and our Knight of Pentacles in its upright. One card to clarify, please. We've got the Hierophant in its upright. Man, like if you're following the podcast, go take a peek at today's spread, man, because this third tier is a doozy. It's a doozy. Especially with the Devil card in its upright and the Star card in its reversal. But the thing I need to point out right now, and I think that this is important across all of the frequencies, is, and this is again something that is kind of helpful when it comes to Libra energy, is working on and recognizing the balance, like the balance that we're able to create that allows us to effectively be able to articulate upon what our manifestation goals are. And the one thing I like about this type of energy is I keep on hearing, like, hope exists in the manifestation goal. Like, hope exists in the space by which we have the manifestation goal. Because often I keep on seeing that, in the midst, of, and this is what I mean about the doldrums of the eclipse. In the doldrums of the eclipse, we can coming out of an eclipse or the retrograde season. It's the always patient, never waiting as it relates to working on a manifestation goal, which is the space by which you don't just sit somewhere and wait for something to occur. You do the things that will expedite something coming towards you. So I feel like that's a little bit of the easement point that we're potentially experiencing as it relates to this, as it relates to the eclipse season, kind of like moving back, like moving away from us. Because I wouldn't be surprised if you were trying to do things like during that eclipse process, and it felt like you were taking on like oh my gosh, Sisyphean Sisyphus endeavors. Okay. It's very funny because okay, so never mind. All right, so but yeah, it can feel it like the energy of the retrograde eclipse that we're experiencing. It could feel a lot like Sisyphus, because it's like the identification point of trying to roll something up a hill and feeling like it's falling back on you at every moment. Because we had the eclipse, right? You had the eclipse that's like trying to like do that uplift. It's like trying to raise something, but like you got the retrograde that pulls it back down on you. So it's like it was requiring a lot of energetic heavy lifting, which is why I keep on saying ease into things right now. Don't put as much force on things as you were putting on them a few days ago. Delicate, because it's like it's giving me like scale energy, right? Like when you put too much pressure on something because like you think that you need it, and then the whole thing, it's like it's that type of thing. When I said like a switch hit, like be more delicate in relationality to how you're navigating things. So I know like that's a problem with like having gone through that eclipse retrograde. Is like everything was requiring effort, and it's like now it's like whoop, and now it's just like now it's sliding through a lot more easily, so it's like not pushing so hard on things is what I keep on getting. Gentle approaches as a lot of energy kind of moves out of this cycle that feels like it was doing a real energetic number on the self. So just being, I keep on hearing, holding that state of compassion for the self and for those around the self. Continuing to get back into the partnership dynamics between our devil card and his upright and our star card. This is the only thing I'm a little bit conscientious about, because I do see, yeah, the thing I keep on seeing right now has to do, you remember I said a few days ago masculine and feminine were more in alignment? This is not a great alignment day for masculine and feminine, is what I'm seeing. Because, and here's the thing about it. It's just because I've got here the Empress card for feminine, bearing in mind this is not based on gender, but what one feels most aligned to. And the Knight of Pentacles for masculine. And so the hurdle with that may have to do with what masculine and feminine are focusing on prioritizing right now. Feminine, I see like feminine is like feminine, this is creative energy for feminine right now, right? There's a lot of creativity here around feminine. Masculine's more in a practicality space. Now that I do see the fact that they're both kind of working in the same way in that fashion, but I keep on seeing the this is what I mean in relationality to some of these cards right now. They're not necessarily out of alignment, but I almost feel like some of the cards that I'm seeing around feminine right now feel like there's more pressure on feminine right now than there is on masculine. And the reason and that sometimes, and I keep on saying sometimes, right? This is sometimes when we see pressurization points that potentially happen in partnership, it can sometimes create like imbalance feelings, because I keep on seeing that for a lot of the feminine, like doing that work, like I keep on hearing, if you feel pressure, make sure that you're not projecting it out onto those around the self, right? We don't project our pressure. We move through it. We don't react to it. While for masculine, I feel like this is like, I feel like there's something important about masculine, um like getting like, and it's funny because I think yesterday I said I saw a lot of people getting things off the to-do list. I feel like I see masculine like more taking, like this almost feels like more of an energy of like easement and taking things like just getting things done, like knocking things off a checklist. So the reason I keep on seeing about, I'm stressing this for the energy deep within divine union. Before, I keep on hearing, before you approach each other with a problem, check in about each other's bandwidth, is what I keep on seeing. Because there's something about the cards I'm identifying here that would articulate the fact that feminine is like, especially like is feminine's tackling a lot of like feeling a lot more pressure right now. And masculine is it's not that they're not feeling energetic pressure, but it feels more, I feel like it's almost, I almost see like a masculine energy navigating others issues right now, is what I keep on seeing. It's not even the fact that the masculine, it's not even masculines, like I keep on hearing masculines having orbital issues, which is the space by which it's not necessarily the masculine, but like you're having a little bit of that, like what's gotten into everybody kind of energy. You know what I mean? Like the energy, like navigating out, and it's probably the energy that was not like, I told you not to do anything, don't do anything foolish during during the eclipse cycle. I feel like masculine is like navigating some kind of, I've got like kind of a cleanup energy around masculine in some way. All right. Continuing to get clarification between our star card and its reversal and our Hierophant. Ooh, we got a four. We got a four of wands in its reversal. I gotta stress this right now. The thing that we're seeing, and this is going to keep on happening right now until Neptune and Saturn are out of this silly little retrograde that they've got together. We've got masculine, we've got Neptune, and we've got Saturn, both in retrograde, and we've got them chilling out on the meridian between Pisces and Aries, and that can create a little like it can create a little like it can create it's like scheduling issues. You know what I mean? Like it's a lot of that type of energy. Like things going fast, things going slow. It's doing a number on like on our ability to like navigate or hold time in our head is what I keep on getting. So just be conscientious about that is what I keep on seeing because there I feel like there's something very significant and important in relationality to the space by which we don't get too hard on ourselves about that. And I keep on saying, remember, if you're experiencing that, don't feel like it's intentional, is what I keep on seeing. And that's the problem. I need to point out this is something that I keep on seeing in this retrograde energy, especially given the fact that Chiron is an heiress, which is like working through like scheduling kerfuffles that feel intentional or feel like they're directed towards the self, right? Just allowing, like I keep wondering, like allowing that easement of understanding that everybody is experiencing this, and so that way we don't get. I keep wondering, and that way we don't get twisted up about it. We try to do what we can to help alleviate it for one another, is what I keep on seeing, right? It's like I keep on hearing. It's like it's like it's working a lot through that right now. Final card for today's spread between our Page of Cups in its reversal and our Four of Wands in its reversal. One card to clarify, please. Clarification coming through right now with our Page of Swords in its reversal. So, one of the things that we're effectively working through right now that I'm seeing has to do, I just keep on saying it has to do with the space by which we identify. Um, the one thing I want to articulate about this, like about this retrograde cycle, and I'm going to keep on bringing this up. Um, the retrograde cycle itself can create a lot of feelings of weariness because it's not, if you were to say to me which planet is in retrograde that's causing me to feel this way right now, I'd say which planet is not, right? There's a lot of things in retrograde right now. And the retrograde, I like to describe it like this is a retrograde that spooled up, right? It took it didn't happen all at once. There were a bunch of planets that all went into retrograde at different times. It's going to unspool like just as slowly as it spooled up. So making sure, like not overly internalizing a lot of this energy right now, taking the time to the self to be effectively able to be restorative. The one thing you want to avoid, and I keep on hearing that the things you want to avoid are doing things right now, like out of a sense of anger or out of a sense of frustration. And I need to point this out because there's something important in relationality to this. It is not the fact, and it has to do, right? It has to do with understanding the space by which we articulate our anger that allows something energetically to productive to occur through it, right? Versus the feeling of taking it out on someone. That is effectively what I want you to be conscientious about. Making sure that you're not taking out. This is often when we're projecting, that's what we're effectively doing. We're taking something out on someone, right? We try to move that into the space of focusing our frustration on a particular, on a particular like in a particular direction. Now, for a lot of the energy doing that work right now, I want to say, like, the heaviness of sometimes coming out of these eclipse cycles can feel worse than being within them. So being able to understand that if there's something that you're working on doing right now, it's okay to do it. I'm not somebody that says don't do anything during eclipse. I say as long as you've had intention on doing something, go for it. But what you want to avoid is, and I keep on hearing, um, the like opportunity, right? Opportunity is leaping towards something that feels like it's in alignment in the space by which we do something that feels like it's sublime, right? It's like a sublime, it's like sublime moments. Um, the space by which, the space by which we, how do I describe this best? The space by which we are energetically reactive, right? Where we just feel, and again, I keep on hearing, like, where we feel, we become reactive as it relates. I keep on hearing, don't get reactive, and it has to do with the fact that we were talking through, like Saturn's lessons as it was. Like, this is all coming through again through Saturn, which is a space by saying that, like, we don't touch Saturn's lessons, which is the space by which we understand that sometimes issues, like I keep wondering, like sometimes issues related to time can't energetically be helped. So that ability of kind of working towards productivity or articulating upon it or trying to do what one can to resolve it. I keep on hearing, like, don't take time personally, which is the space by which you don't get angry in relationality to time, but you kind of work to resolve the fact that, given the fact, I keep on hearing, like, given the fact that we've got Saturn and Neptune, like, given the fact we've got Neptune and Saturn in such close proximity in retrograde, it's creating, I keep wondering, it's like it's creating this, like, this compression point in relationality to, like, to things getting done and things, like, there's not enough, I keep wondering, it's like there's not enough room between the starting, like this, like the start point and the end point, right? Like, that's what we're often seeing when we see, like, when we see those planets in such, like, tiny, like, in such close proximity, right? So I keep on hearing, like, don't get frustrated, get focused, right? Don't get angry, get ardent, like, get into the space by which, like, I keep on hearing, like, instead of, like, I keep on hearing, like, instead of, like, punching walls, like, leaping at opportunities is what I keep on getting. Bottom of the deck, yeah, the Lovers card, right? Ideal, like, I keep on seeing, like, ideal isn't energetically made, it's effectively found, is all I keep on seeing. And there's something important in relationality to that, as it relates to, how do I describe this? It's having an effect across all of the energy in union right now, or moving towards union, in different ways. And it has to do, I keep on hearing, it has to do with granularity. Um, for the energy in separation, it's more of the same observation that we were effectively seeing in relationality to, um, trying to be, like, working on productivity. It's something of, I keep on saying, it has to do with the space by which we're able to communicate to each other, effectively. And one of the things I keep on seeing about this right now has to do. Remember how I mentioned the trepidation that some of these new partnerships are having as it relates to, the authenticity of the manifestation goal that they're bringing towards one another. I keep on hearing, I keep on hearing, like, these are energies that, it's not the energy that, wants to be energetically cautious, but these are energies who've been burned before by those that, I keep on hearing, these are energies that have been burned before by those whose words didn't match their action, right? So I keep on seeing that for a lot of the energy right now, even in the space by which they're approaching each other cautiously, there is that hope of building into something energetically beautiful. For the energy that's coming into divine union right now, this is more of the space of effectively saying to again to each other with the granularity. It's not that they were keeping details. It's not that they were keeping details from one another. They were sparing each other details, right? It's the space by which I keep on seeing it's hard to talk about something. That's why I see the energy. Like I told you, it feels like a solar plexus opening because they're like, I'm finally ready to tell you the full depth of something that I went through. Well, for the energy that is coming into divine union, like these are the energies that are working through the frustration in navigating the irony, like they're going through an ironic situation because the irony of being able to see something that they know exactly what is happening, but not being able to say anything about it because they remember a time that they themselves felt it and they know that anything that one says isn't going to make something better, might potentially make it worse. This is a lot of the energy that is working on like resolving that. So I keep on hearing like the space by which we work like the space by which we work through granularity is by resolving, which is the space by which again we articulate upon what it is that we hope to do better that allows the possibility of something getting done. That is our daily collective read for today. I want to thank you guys so much for being here and receiving these messages. Just a reminder, if you would like to book a private reading with me, it is a two-step process. You have to book the reading and pay for the reading. Please make sure you do both if you'd like to have that reading. Most importantly, please remember that I will never, ever, 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 ever reach out to you for a private reading. I will never DM you. I will never PM you. I will never slide into your inbox and tell you that I have a very important message that only I can deliver. The only way you can book a reading with me is if you book one on my site. So I'd encourage you to do it there. A couple of updates before we move into personal readings today. First and foremost, thank you to everyone who attended our recent class on the moon card. I mean, on the not on the moon card, not yet. Um, on the star card. Our next class will be held on Wednesday, October 13th at 6 p.m. PST, 9 p.m. Eastern. We will be continuing our studies into the tarot with a focus on the moon card. If you would like to become a part of that tarot class program, all you need to do is head on over to my stack and become a paid subscriber. Your paid subscription to my stack is your ticket of entry into our live classes each and every month. You will also, as a paid subscriber, have access to over 9 hours worth of material in the Tarot Church Library Class Archive. Now, it's not necessary to catch up. I will do my best to give you an update on everything we've studied prior to having our class. But if you wanted to catch up, now's a great time to join because you'll have a whole month to be able to watch any of those classes you might want to watch. You can also reach out to me and the other students in a one-on-one chat that you'll have access to. I also want to let you guys know that if you become a founding member, not only will you receive a discount on the whole year's worth of classes, you will also have full access to the entirety of the Tarot Church Library Class Archive. That is access to over 19 hours worth of material in an ever expanding library. Now, as I mentioned, it's not necessary to catch up. It's a great time to join if you want to. And you'll also have access to a complimentary one-on-one mentorship class with me, where I will meet with you personally to assess where you are on your personal tarot journey and give you the best insights in terms of how to utilize those classes to the best of your advantage moving towards your tarot goals going forward. One of the things I try to do in these classes was make them accessible to the absolute novice tarot reader as well as the seasoned reader. There's definitely something there for everyone. Don't let your lack of experience or your robust experience prevent you from joining us in these classes. And even if you don't become a paid subscriber to my stack, I would encourage you to follow me there to stay up to date on any new offerings or services. I also post my weekly newsletter there, which will let you know about my in-person events as well as my online live schedule. You'll also be notified as to any giveaways and any you'll also have access to my mystic meditation articles, which will give you an update on everything we've experienced in the cards. I just released one recently on that new moon energy. I also want to let you guys know that on top of my standard life path readings, I also offer mentorship classes. These are for any of my students seeking a more personalized educational experience with me. I take a very limited number of students for these reasons. That those classes are focused on and catered to each individual's journey work. Those classes can be purchased on an individual level or as a monthly class series, weekly or bi-weekly as your schedule permits. Also, for my students seeking more consistent weekly tarot support, I'm very happy to offer weekly tarot insight packages. That is a package of 4 30-minute readings, weekly or bi-weekly, as your schedule permits, so that you can stay more consistent on your personal journey. I'm also very happy to offer dream interpretation readings now, which can be purchased per dream or as a series. If you purchase the series, I would encourage you to start to keep a dream journal, as we will meet weekly or bi-weekly with that journal and utilize the tarot to understand the key themes and messages coming towards you in the dream space. I want to thank you guys so much for being here today and sharing in these messages. And we will do this again tomorrow. That is our daily collective read. We are going to get started on personal readings. The first, congratulations to Bridget. You got our highest gifter for today. And Ava, you came in second, so you will have an additional card in your reading. If anybody else wants to get on the list right now, the list is open. You will be the third person read for. 3 cards for a donation of $29 or more. 4 cards for a donation of $23 or more for my subscribers. Links in my bio. Please keep in mind there are 2 things I do not read for across these apps: pregnancy and medical. Happy to give insight on anything in private readings, and you can book private readings on my site. One moment. All right, perfect. How are you doing today? Thank you for those gifts, Crow. And thank you as well, Cracker Jack, for the follow. Julia, your subscription's ending soon if you'd like to renew. And Witches, thank you so much for the roses. Fig, you're so welcome. And you'll see when you read what I sent you and what you can use as an outside tea. I totally understand, Figs. No stress. Absolutely. Hi there, little vamp. Good to see you today. Excellent. My brain just defaults to cow. That's fair. I understand. Excellent. Oh, you booked Monica, if you booked a live, can you please let me know if where give me the initial on where you sent the donation, so I can double check, so I can confirm that I received the donation payment. If 2 animals could be more different than the bee versus the cow. You make a yo, thank you for the compliment today, Ella. Excellent. I love this because I work from home for myself, so this feels like I have coworkers. I love that, Bridget. Excellent. I always feel worse after. Absolutely. I remember the deer story I told you. That was me. I was like, I don't scare me. My grandbaby was born yesterday. Oh my gosh, really, Ella? Congratulations. That's incredible. Oh, I'm so happy for you, dear. Yes, name to be announced. Oh my gosh, I hope, 9 pounds. Woo! Good, 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 good. God, but very happy. Oh, I'm very happy to hear that. Absolutely. I can tell they're scared of messing up too. Oh, sending you support, dear. Do you know the fig tree analogy? Yeah, yes, I do. It's funny, I have a different fig tree analogy. My question for my reading later was connected to it. Oh, I can't wait to have your reading, Ava. Ava, are you on the list? Oh, you're on the list from yesterday. Okay, I've got you, dear. Perfect. Excellent. What's my energy? Lock, I'm happy to read for you if you'd like to get on the list. The list is open. These are donation-based readings. Hi there, Jasmine. Hold on a minute, too. One moment, please. Okay. Perfect. No touchy. Exactly. Exactly. Hi there. How are you doing, Kirby? Oh, thank you so much, Emily. I'm so glad you love the updates. Not mysterious sin. Yeah. That explains why people will see me as an unapproachable tonight. I totally get you, Bridget. Listen, I'll tell you right now, a Scorpio stellium will make you unapproachable. Okay. It's all very heavy and shadowy right now. I know, little vamp. Accurate. Thank you as well, which is so good to see you today. This is a heavy lesson. I went through it with my ex. Sending you support, Bridget. Why can't we though? We don't know until you know. Absolutely. Grand Rising, Haley. Good to see you today. Tina, thank you for the follow. Thank you for confirmation, witches. Can't make it up. Nope. I can't believe I was talking about the magician and the magician card in its reversal showed up. Thank you for the compliment on the read, witches. That's a very high honor coming from you. I appreciate you. And thank you for those gifts as well. Grand Rising channeling. Good to see you guys. Make sure to give channeling some love too. Yes, lots of inner child healing. Love that. Thank you, Kirby. Alan, welcome. Alan, niceness has created a lot of our current issues. A tap to claim. Oh my God, like my dream. Like, what did you do? Like, what you did there, Sin? Honestly, I didn't even realize I was doing that, Bridget. That's wild. Oh my God, I did exactly that yesterday. I don't want to talk to you, but I'm trying not to be rude. I had to talk to their dad. Oh, sending you support. Tapping is clapping. Thank you, witches. I appreciate you. Witches, Jupiter's, I don't know. Let's not say that. Jupiter is not always being rude. It's not the thing with Jupiter and Cancer. The thing with Jupiter and Cancer has to do with being like heavy in the feels. You know, Jupiter and Cancer is like it's heavy in the feels, you know? And Theo, your subscription will, I mean, like when Jupiter's in like Mars, when Jupiter's in Mars, you know, absolutely. And V, your subscription is ending soon if you'd like to renew. So good to see you, dear. And yes, Sisyphus, 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 Sisyphus. That's gonna be my new joke. Yes, exactly. And thank you, T, for those gifts. I appreciate you. Absolutely. And Carrie, your subscription, thank you for those gifts as well. That oh no, I mean I like it's all right. It was it didn't have like a it was just a thing. Was really feeling that compression yesterday. Absolutely. I know that like we're gonna expect to have a little bit of like it's the ennui app. It's like the doldrums after the eclipse. You know, it can create a lot of that. You're so welcome, Bridget. Hold on a minute, Figs, bouncing back up. Yeah, thank you. Some points really resonate and I feel like goes along with my future reading on boundaries. Hi, Monica. How are you doing? Monica, I just need to give me the initial of where you sent the donation, not the full name. The apps are very jealous. The apps don't like to hear anybody else's name in the comments. We don't put any other apps' names in the comments. We just put the initial. Kat, thank you so much for getting on the list today. You'll be read for after Ava. If anybody else wants to get on the list today, you will be the 6th person read for. Was that a frog? Was it? It looked like Kermit. I only caught a glimpse. Oh, that's exactly what I needed, Monica. Thank you. Excellent. You're so welcome, Ella. That's wonderful news. Nicole, thank you for the follow. Okay, I'll give Jupiter a little grace. Heavy in the feels. Not a lot of filter. Exactly. That's what we can expect. Like that's what we can expect with like Jupiter in Cancer. You can also, I mean, the problem with Jupiter in Cancer can also be a little bit of like respectfully, who asked you? Like it's like that's the problem right now. Like we've got like I got to tell you, like with all of these planets retrograding in Aries and then Jupiter in Cancer, like the difference between I just feel and someone being like who like you know what I mean, like it's working through. I keep on hearing it's working through the validity of feelings, like what feelings are valid versus what are inside feelings. Those are inside feelings. You should keep those feelings inside your head. Yep, absolutely. And Nicole, thank you so much for the follow. Guys, just a reminder, if you are a super fan, you will be eligible for 1-card readings. We'll be doing those later today. We've got a super fan only live. You'll find in my calendar that we'll be doing those with. So make sure you become a super fan and make sure you're re-subscribing if you are one. Absolutely. Yes. And if you are also a super fan, you get a discount on your readings if you're getting a reading today, and you get an additional card. And Delta Lady, welcome. Heavy in the feels. Yep. All right. You can absolutely hold your reading with Bridget. No problem. All right. Speaking of readings, let's get started on today's reading. Before we begin, the first person we're reading for today is Claire here? Claire, I'm looking for Claire. Claire, if you're here, can you respond in all caps? Let me know if you'd like a general reading or if you have a specific question you'd like me to answer. If Claire is not here, the next person we're going to be reading for today is Fig. So I'm looking for Claire or Fig. And while we wait for Claire or Fig, I know Fig put their question up on the Discord with the disco. Let's do an intuition check. Also, friends, we're at 14.5K likes. When we get to 50K, I will be gifting a reading back to the collective. So make sure you're tapping that screen. We'll get to 50K in no time. I've got our animal spirit guide card here. I'm going to count back from 10. When we get to 1, I will reveal the card. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The ram. Thank you guys for participating. We'll do that again after the next reading. Yes, exactly. Yes, one cards are done separately now. It has to do with the reason we have to do it that way is it's become the new app updates have made it too hard to determine the difference between fans and super fans. So by doing that, we just make it a lot easier. We've noticed that it's a lot easier to do the one cards. They move much more quickly, and that way we can ascertain with more ease who is actually a super fan versus who is just a regular fan. Which Claire are you looking for? I have almost all of them. But bump. Nice. I like it. I like it. I see what you did there. I like it. All right, let's continue right now. Guys, great time to get on the list. If you would like to get on the list right now, 3 cards for a donation of 29 or more, 4 cards for a donation of 23 or more for my subscribers. Links in my bio. Please keep in mind, there are 2 things I do not read for across these apps, pregnancy and medical. Happy to give insight on anything in private readings, and you can book private readings on my site. We are also doing a giveaway right now. I will be gifting a free reading back to the collective in the form of a random drawing when we get to 50K likes. So make sure you are tapping that screen. We will get to 50K in no time. One moment, please. And if you are a super fan, you are also eligible for a 1 card reading, which we will be having later this afternoon. The event is already up on my page. You can go ahead and register directly for that. Okay. And thank you, Phoenix, for the gifts, dear. How do you know the time for the Superfan 1 cards? I usually list it. It's usually around between 5 or 6 each day. I usually list it also on the disco. So today, to confirm, I believe the time we're going to be doing the Superfan 1 cards is 5:30. If someone goes to my profile, 5:30 Eastern. If someone goes to my profile right now, you can confirm what time that event is, but I'm fairly certain it's 5:30. All right. Let me see. All right, that said, I am now pulling up Figs' question. I'm going to take a moment to read this over to see what parts can be outside tea versus anything that might be too sensitive. Okay, I need to keep some of this information sensitive because it involves outside individuals. Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. Yeah. Okay. All right, I got to the point of the dream that I can read. Okay. So on Tuesday, I had a dream, I mentioned, of cutting my hair. I was trying to cut dead ends and ended up having to chop off to my waist the long hair to a shoulder length bob because I cut off too much. Now, mind you, I did exactly that when I left my son's father, when I got out and away from him. I woke up from that to find that that one of my children had blocked me. I messaged them and they said that they had made the right decision. I told them I had done everything to remain in their life, and it was a choice to cut me out, not the other way around. Yep, around all of this, kids, please and thank you. Yes, mind you, first time. Yes. Okay. Okay. No, you have nothing to apologize for in relationality to length. Let's find out what's going on there. I'm already getting some strong indications around it. Oh, wow. I'm saying wow because you got double three of swords. But the important thing we're seeing here is one of the three of swords is reversed. So we're gonna talk a little bit about it. Um, one of the things I'm seeing in relationality, and I'm going to talk first. I'm going to talk first about, and the next thing I'm going to do is I'm also going to pin up figs. Guys, make sure to give figs some love. Um, the thing the one and it's interesting too because speaking upon like Saturn and Saturn's lessons, like the dream that you effectively had is a dream about Saturn's lessons. I actually find it absolutely wild, and I think that you were very right when you said that you saw some correlation between what I was reading for here versus what you're finding over here. Because, the dream that you effectively had, what did it speak towards? There was something you said that you said that you went to cut off the dead ends, and you got carried away, right? You went to cut off the dead ends and you got carried away. This is often something that happens when we get too much in our feelings, right? It's kind of like it's like the joke, like don't make any changes, like during like don't cut your hair during a retrograde, because when we are feeling emotional, we just want to stop feeling that way. And when we're feeling emotional, we do something drastic that we then immediately regret because it wasn't the fact that we actually wanted to do it's not the fact that we actually wanted that. We just wanted to stop feeling the way that we were feeling. That's why we often that's why it's fine to cut your hair during certain periods, but the reason that there's sometimes a warning not to cut your hair during certain energetic moments is because it's the sense of wanting to alleviate oneself from a feeling and trying to do something drastic, not because one wants the what not because one wants the result of it, but just because you felt the need to do it. The nice thing about this dream, though, is, and this is kind of like the catharsis point that we often have when it comes to dreams about cutting hair. And this is why we often talk about the context of hair appearing when we're talking about Saturn's lessons. Saturn will fix it, right? Like as long as you stop cutting, right? As long as you stop cutting, right? As long as you stop before you get drastic, Saturn will do the rest, right? The way to solve that problem, like the basically the dream saying, there are some problems that the only thing we can do is wait. And we hate that. Do you know how much we hate that? Do you know how much Do you know how much you do? Like we are a very impatient planet. Okay, we are very impatient. We are a very impatient species. We don't like waiting for things. And so the thing about the dream is the dream is a message from your guides that says, be careful in not doing something extreme when you're feeling the need for change. I'd be curious as to where your Gemini placements are. Um, Change for change's sake isn't a manifestation goal. And also bring patience. If you feel like you've done something, like if you feel like there's something that you've gone too far on, instead of doing more, think about waiting, right? Because you said you're like, you went from having hair to your waist to a bob, but how did I can already see the space of the dream. You didn't do that. You didn't go here to here. You were trying to even it up, right? Like you made one wrong cut and then you said, oh no, and then you made another wrong cut and you said, oh no, and then you said you made another wrong cut, right? And meanwhile, the solution wasn't necessarily to keep cutting, but rather to just wait and let it grow out and then begin again, right? So there's something really important here that I feel like the dream is articulating. And I need to stress this. And the reason I feel like this is a guide dream has to do with the fact that, and I think that there's something really important. This is further affirmation that we feel that this is a guide dream. The fact that you woke up and what did you find? What did you find had happened when you woke up? Someone had done something drastic. Someone had done something drastic. So let's think about the conversation that you were having with a guide in relationality to what they were talking to you about in the space of the message of what was coming through in the dream versus what you saw happen outside of the dream. So right before you woke up, you had a guide that said, listen, you ever had those moments? You ever had those moments that you need a change, you're not feeling okay? So you start cutting and you start cutting and cutting and cutting and cutting and oops, you realize you make a mistake. Remember, like the guides literally said to you in the space of the dream, remember, we all make mistakes. We all make mistakes where we want change and we do something drastic. And then we say, oh, as you said, oh, you didn't say, you said, oh, chit, what I think is really interesting, because it's interesting too that you use the word chit because a chit is a token, right? Oops, I did something as a gesture, but I didn't realize the full implications. I didn't realize the full implications of how another person may have taken it, right? So we're effectively seeing that moment, or we're seeing that modality here. So basically what the guides are basically saying to you prior to that experience, saying there might be a lot more going on than you know, right? Perhaps the reason they did that, perhaps the reason they did that is not, look, I know it hurt, right? It's not to strike a blow, right? Thinking about the full implications as to the reasons why someone might have done that. I keep on hearing, don't take it personally. Take it inquisitively. And the fact that you had, and I feel like further confirmation on that is the fact that you had a dream. And in the dream, you had literally had a guide that tapped you and said, listen, I want to remember before you wake up, I just want to remind you of something. Sometimes we need a little bit of change and we do something very dumb. We do something, and sometimes instead of making a big deal out of it, we wait, right? When we don't touch Saturn's lessons, right? Instead of cutting more at it and making it shorter, if we just give it a minute, right? If we just give it a minute, the problem resolves itself. So I feel like that basically that this is the message that the guides were giving you, saying, don't take someone's moment personally, right? Don't take the moment that this person was having. Like there may be a lot more happening under the surface. So again, if you're able to, they're saying, don't take it personally. Don't start cutting it more. Take it patiently, which is giving it a minute and seeing if something resolves itself. Um, Now, in relationality to the other aspects, because I know you said that there was a lot of other stuff going on there. I think that it's almost a call It's a call towards taking the same approach in some of those other directions as well, which is not, I keep wondering, it's not the space. Don't, it's like, it is the dream is a basically a reminder not to go into extremes, which is to say, don't go from 0 to 80, right? Don't go from, okay, if you do that, I'm going to do this. Like, don't, like I keep on hearing, make sure that your energetic response to things is proportional to what is energetically occurring, which is to say, and this is, you kind of nailed it like on the head when you said, I was trying to just remove the dead ends, but I accidentally gave myself a bob, which is to say, potentially even articulating to others, and this is something that you yourself may be experiencing, telling others why you are doing things instead of just doing them, right? So that they don't take the wrong message from them, is what I keep on hearing. So I keep on hearing, don't be energetically reactive if in the space by which someone, in the space by which someone was cutting dead ends and then they accidentally made a mistake, or the space that there might be something else going on, right? Don't, it's almost saying like, don't be reactive, ask the right questions and make sure that your responses to things are proportional to what is happening. Bottom of the deck. Yeah. No matchy matchy. I'm going to say it again. No matching energy right now. No. Okay, not like, then this. If you do this, I'll do it. Like, not, do not get into a saber fight with someone right now. Okay, don't get into, don't be matching energy, because like I said, what happens when we match energy, right? When we match energy, you go from that waist length hair to a bob, right? Like that's what it gets you. Just allow patience, and that doesn't mean you can't do something, but make sure that what you're doing is energetically proportional to what is occurring, and make sure that you're asking questions and this is the most important thing, make sure you're asking questions as it relates to another's intentions, which is not to say, how dare you, but saying, did you mean to do that? Right? Like, not saying, how dare you, say why, because I almost feel like there might be a situation here on some things you say why, and someone said, what? Like what? Like it's like a little bit of that, like a little bit of that moment, or I'm sorry, it's a 7 of Wands and it's reversal. Like a little bit of that moment of someone being like, oh, I didn't, I like, you know what I mean? Like, oh, I didn't like real, like I didn't realize. Like, I keep on hearing like, I didn't. It's funny because I keep on hearing the song "Do You Realize," but the thing is, I keep on hearing "I didn't realize" in the context of the song. So someone being like, "I didn't realize," I like, it's giving me somebody saying to you at some point, "I didn't realize I did that." You know. Thank you so much for having that reading with me, Fig. And if this message connect, and it might not be, but again, I keep on seeing like somebody who's like, you know, like it almost feel like I'm getting the sense of someone being like, I'm going like going in hermit mode and being like doing that. Like I just keep on seeing somebody doing that on repeat, right? Like I almost see somebody like literally going down like a road doing something and not realizing how many places their finger hit, you know? Thank you so much for having that reading with me, Fig. And if this message connected to you as well, it's very common for those who need these messages to be here to experience them. We are doing personal readings right now. If you would like to get on the list is open. It is 3 cards for a donation of 29 or more, 4 cards for a donation of 23 or more for my subscribers, links in my bio. Please keep in mind there are 2 things I do not read for on these apps: pregnancy and medical. Happy to give insight on anything in private readings, and you can book private readings on my site. I'm going to take a moment to read over some of the comments that came through as I was reading. All right, where are we? NT, thank you for those roses. All right. And Nicole, thank you for the follow. All right. You're so welcome, Delta. All right. You're so welcome, Ella. And Ella, I think you should be on the disco now too. Let me know. It only shows this live. Oh, okay. I apologize for that. I thought I posted the second one. I'll do that as soon as I get off. We will be on at 5:30. All right. Oh, actually, correction. We're gonna be on at 6, not 5:30. I'll be on at 6. It won't update. All right, so I'll put it up. I'm gonna put it up in the disco. I'll also go ahead and put it up as an event after this. So if someone gets scary news, does that make it Panic at the Disco? Yes, it does. Yes, it does. What's my current time? Oh yeah, absolutely, Kath. I'm on Eastern. Is the dreamscape awful for everyone right now? I've been having disturbing dreams, but I'm not surprised to be having disturbing dreams right now, given the fact that Pluto's in retrograde. Alexandra, thank you for getting on the list, dear. All right. We've got 4 spots left today before the list will be closed. I still can remember most of my dreams. I was having a wild one yesterday. Makes sense. There's 6 people besides me revolving around these events. Yep. Dada, how are you doing, dear? Yeah, that instant gratification. Claire, your subscription's ending soon if you'd like to renew. Claire, I'm also looking for Claire who got on the list yesterday. Crystal, thank you for the follow. Yeah, they did. Hi, Yaz. You had a dream with me? Oh, weird. You should get the dream interpretation and then make me feel really uncomfortable, like reading about Dream Me. I hope it was a good one. I hope I was helping. I hope I was being helpful. The list is open, Queen, if you'd like to get on the list. I used to cut. I shake my head at myself when I look back on it. It happens, right? We all have those moments. Like we take those extreme, we take drastic measures, you know? Yeah, and what I said to them, that was their choice, not mine to do that, not mine. Beautiful. Like, and that's the thing I keep on seeing, which is like I keep on seeing like working into the space of instead of saying, how dare you, asking questions, you know? Absolutely. I was giving my friend a reading and I was beside you interpreting the cards. That is so cool. Yeah, go dream me. That's pretty that's awesome. Thank you for letting me know, Yaz. There's no subscribers anymore, Claire. So subscribers are now super fans. So that's why we're doing the super fan only live to do the one cards because it's a little bit difficult to tell the difference between super fans and subscribers. I will tell you guys right now, I'll be completely honest with you. I can get back to having subscribers if I get to 100K fans. So if there's anything that you guys can help me do to get to that number, I would love to get to that number, make everything a lot easier for us. But that's the energetic, that's the hurdle that we're experiencing right now. So this is how we're navigating it. And Dada, thank you for sharing the live. Always appreciate when you guys share the live. Grand Rising, dear, good to see you. Absolutely. Because with the young female, that's been a constant, oh, with the elder one, sending you so much support, Fig. You've just given me confirmation to leave. I feel like it's saying to me, like the fact that there's hair in the dream says like observe Saturn's problems, which some problems, like if you touch them, they're not going to get better. They're just going to get worse. Right. Like giving someone some time. Okay. Oh, I hope you're having a great day, Dada. Thank you for stopping in. And I hope you're recovering. I just want to talk to him. I just want to talk to him. I just want to talk to Is that the yeah, no, it's actually it's actually like it's giving me like the 7 of like the 7 of wands, right? Like sometimes we pick at things, we make them worse instead of better. Yeah, that's a card I pictured, but I said I figured you did. Yep, thank you for the help, Kath, on clarifying. Super fans are for live, subscribers are valid for sub subscriber only posts, I think. Yeah, it's a little it's weird. I would like to. I got you, Alexandra. And for anybody else who wants to get on the list right now, as I said, we've got 4 spots left today. We do here angelic, life path, highest priority messages from spirit, dream interpretation, past life, mediumship, love readings, pet readings, animal spirit guide readings, akashic, and mind body spirit. I'm doing well today, Dada. Claire, you're back. Okay, great. You're next on the list. And Samantha, thank you for the follow. I'm cutting my hair wasn't disturbing. It was just weird because last time I did it, I left an X. But like, and I need to point this out, right? So cutting your hair in relationality to a karmic is positive, right? Because you're leaving like often the cutting like this is what we talk about. This is why I don't like dream interpretation books because you can't just look. I strongly believe that the symbology of dreams doesn't mean you see one thing in a dream and for everybody it means that. You have to look at the context of what's occurring. So in the space where you are like leaving a karmic and you're cutting your hair. It's the space by which you're finally ready to leave the past version of self behind that you had to be in order to facilitate being in that relationship. That's like a positive transformation. And that's often why, again, it's like a Saturn return that you're experiencing as you're leaving a counterpart. But in the space of this dream, right? And especially, and we've got confirmation on it, in the space by which you said the dream literally says, think about what happens when we do something drastic. And the fact that you woke up and immediately, what did you wake up to? Somebody having done something drastic. It feels like a little bit of a red alert message from your guide saying, like, hey, like, stay calm. Don't start cutting. Don't start cutting. Oh, thank you for the compliment, Samantha. Like you said the other day, observe, don't absorb. Yeah. Hurdles too, people poking at me and not letting it affect my mental state. Yep. Like I keep on saying, like don't get angry, make a new rule, right? It's saying right now, like I keep on, like that's what we see with a dream like that. Like don't do it, don't do something extreme, don't go extreme, go go productive, you know? You have a great day, Dada. That's why I included every no, I really appreciate BC. I really appreciate that you provided everything because it's really important in the context of the message. Para, I'm happy to read for you on that. If you'd like to get on the list, list is open. I've got 4 spots available today. Yeah, I was actually going through a Saturn return when I left him. Yeah, that's sort of the further, like that's a real, yeah, that's a real Saturn return reading, like dream. Well, you said it happened in real life, but yeah, so thank you for confirmation on that. I've never cut my hair in a dream, but I've had my teeth fall out. Yeah, teeth fall out. Teeth falling out can often talk upon the fear of losing loved ones or the fear of losing something important or vital to the self, the teeth falling out dreams, they can be very weird and disturbing. All right, we're going to continue right now. The next person we're reading for today is Claire. Claire, welcome back. Can you let me know if you'd like a general reading or if you have a specific question you'd like me to answer? Also, Claire, can you please do me a favor? I would like you to please give me, just to confirm the reading, can you just give me the initial of the last name by which you sent the donation? Oh my gosh, that makes so much sense. Yeah, it's a typical it's a typical connection point. Yep, thank you, Claire. Thank you for confirming. I appreciate that. Yeah, it always happened when I lost a loved one. Yeah, that can often there that is an old that is an old that's an old that's an old thing. That's an old connection. There's something like that's an old connection and relationality to that. All right, we're gonna continue right now. The next one, before hold on a minute. Yep, that's crazy. Definitely a guy dream because that just went full circle. You're so welcome, Fig. All right. All right, so we're going to be reading for Claire, but before we do so, let's do another intuition check. I've got the animal spirit guide card here. I'm going to count back from 10. When we get to 1, I will reveal the card. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Adder. Thank you guys for participating. We'll do that again after the next reading. All right, I'm going to pin up Claire here. Guys, make sure to give Claire some love. Where'd they go? Claire, come back. All right. How come? There they are. All right, I'm going to pin up Claire now. All right, we are doing messages on love situation for Claire, please. I mean, I see a situation between you and another person that you don't have a minute to yourselves. You know? Like this is giving me, do you and another person have like non-complementary schedules? Is what I'm getting? Like this, that's what I'm kind of seeing here. Or like having to make a hard decision in relationality to getting to see one another. Like I don't know why I keep on seeing this. It's like it's saying to me, like it's giving me like some kind of like um it's giving me some kind of like short burst energy. Um yeah, yeah, I can like I yeah, I don't, I feel like the hard part about something is I literally like I don't, I keep on hearing like you can't take it personally. Like I literally see somebody who is like all engines blazing trying to get something off the ground is what I'm getting. Like this is saying to me like I don't like, it's saying to me like all circuits firing. They're very like, I don't know what this is, but I keep on hearing like I keep, it's funny because I keep on hearing them say my baby, my baby, my baby. But they're not saying baby like a person. They're saying baby like something that they're creating. They're saying baby like something that they're trying to get off the ground, like something that they're putting like all of their energy into. Um but I also see the fact that, I see some kind of hurdle here because I keep on like seeing a situation of someone saying like when something like when this happens, but I'm also getting the sense that the funny thing is I keep on hearing it's like like I need to stress this. um I almost see the situation of someone who's really really busy, and they keep on saying, yeah, once I get through this busy, things will settle down. But I keep on hearing if something succeeds, they're probably going to be even busier. Is what I keep on getting. Like that's the, like I keep on hearing it's like one of those situations that it's like it's not a question as to them being less busy, because it almost feels like if they succeed, they're going to be even busier is what I keep on hearing. Um and it's wild. Like when I see energy like this, it's almost like you have to skip the dating and move like right into living with each other. Because I almost see a situation where it's like that's like I almost feel like you might have to have like a conversation with someone that says we either don't see each other anymore or we move in together. Because that's what you have to do. Like that's what you have to do when someone is so busy, like and that's what I mean in terms of I see somebody who's like it's not that I keep on hearing it's not like they're it's not like they're not choosing you. They're not choosing anything. I keep on hearing they're not choosing I keep on hearing they're not choosing anything except their busyness is what I keep on hearing. They're not choosing anything again but their busyness, because it's the fact that they've got a lot of stuff to do. Um you might want to I mean honestly, I feel like that's the conversation you might need to have with someone, you know? Um it's hard because when I see energy like this, it's like you have to carve out time to, like I keep on hearing it's you have to carve out time to build a relationship, but also it's almost the space of saying to another person like like I know it's going to sound wild, but I do feel like there's literally a and I don't want it does I know it doesn't, this is the conversation you need to have once with someone and saying like, look, there's not much room, like the room that you're giving me in your life is no place to start a relationship. So it's the space by which you have to say to another person like either like, if something can change, like again it's like this is like the type of situation that cohabitation would fix is what I keep on seeing, because it's a space by which you don't have to prioritize time together. You just be in the space of being able to reside with one another, which actually means that like you could kind of effectively save the relationship. Um, but I feel like that's the question, like that's the conversation you need to have with someone, which is saying like I care about you, but and I want you to stress upon like I keep wondering, let the manifestation goal center you, which is saying like, look, I understand you're busy, but this is the type of relationship I want. What can we is that a possibility? Is that something that we can start to plan around? Um, Bottom of the deck. Yeah, I feel like there's something really, there's something else here that's at play because we can be busy and still have partnership. And the way I feel like the way you're going to resolve this, especially if someone's coming towards you at the last minute, is articulating and saying to another person, you make plans ahead of me with me, or you don't make plans at all. Like the space by which you make plans is one that is predicated upon those plans going forward or not having any plans. Because if that is an energy that is so busy, I keep on hearing busy energy should plans more, not less. Like when someone is very busy, then they make planning their priority. You can't have a relationship where someone's busy and they're not prioritizing you. But when someone's really busy all the time and they're keeping things to the last minute, that can often be the vibration of them not wanting to miss something or prioritizing friendship over relationship. And I do see something here about like that's what I mean in terms of like not feeling, I keep on hearing like a relationship is not the end of things, but I've almost got some energy here of someone who's like the life of the party. And I keep on hearing the same message, which is the life of the party should never take relationship advice from the party because the party does not want the life of the party to go away. The life of the party is always going to speak poorly upon anything that the life of the party is doing because they don't want to lose the energy of like that someone brings to something. So I keep wondering, make sure this person, I mean, you can't help it if someone's getting the wrong advice. Like that's something that they need to pay attention to. But it does feel a little bit like there's some kind of childish energy around someone that's telling them, like trying to tell them, like not to, like giving them the wrong advice in relationality to what it is that they should be prioritizing. Um, and that's what's so hard about it because like when somebody like I keep on hearing, remember, you asking someone to prioritize partnership is not asking another person to choose. It only feels like choice when we're not ready for it. It's something we expect in immature partnership. Thank you so much for having that reading with me, Claire. And if this message connected to you as well, it's very common for those who need these messages to be here to experience them. We are doing personal readings right now. If you'd like to get on the list is open. We've got 4 spots left today before the list will be closed. You're so welcome, dear. I'm going to take a moment to read over the comments that came through as I was reading. We're also at 28.5K likes. When we get to 50K, I will be gifting a reading back to the collective. So make sure you're tapping that screen. We'll get to 50K in no time. All right. It did. That's wild, Bridget. Yeah, we've been out of each other's orbit lately, and I haven't heard from him. And that's what I keep on seeing. Like that's the conversation. Like that's the conversation that you need to have with someone. Like good. I keep on hearing good is not consistent. Right? It's not the fact that you shouldn't have to choose between good and consistent. Something can be good and consistent. You're so welcome, dear. All right, we're going to continue right now. The next person on the list for today is Ava. Before we can, Ava, could you let me know if we're doing a general or if you have a specific question? And while we wait for Ava's question, let's do another intuition check. I've got our animal spirit guide card here. I'm going to count back from 10. Thank you for letting me know, Ava. And when we get to 1, I'll reveal the card. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The seal. Thank you so much for participating. We'll do that after the next reading. All right. And let me just pull up Ava's question. Is this inside tea or outside tea, Ava? Also, where'd you put it? Outside tea, but where did you put it in the, where is it? In general, not general questions. Oh, you put it in general. Oh, yeah. We've got a general question section. Hold on a minute. Okay, yeah. All right, found it. I found it. Okay. All right. It's okay. It's all right. We found it. That's the important thing. Hi there, Monica. Oh, I'm happy to check. Monica, yes, I got you after Ava. Okay, perfect. All right, where are we? No, it's okay, Ava. I know it's a little bit of a learning curve. I'm gonna pin up Ava here too. Make sure to give Ava some love. All right, I absolutely love this question. Um, and if you don't mind, I'm gonna draw up the analogy for others so they understand what you're talking about in the space of the reading. Um, so give me a moment. All right, so we're pulling up here. I would love a reading based on the fig tree analogy by Sylvia Plath, The Bell Jar. I've always been interested in a variety of topics, hobbies, and career aspirations. I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing, but most of the time I feel anxious and overwhelmed because I can't keep up with everything I want to do. Sometimes I get so stuck that I don't do anything at all. I have trouble committing to things long term, and I feel like I'm getting pulled in different directions. I was hoping it would go away as I matured, but instead I just see possibilities. Could we read on the fig my higher self would choose for this lifetime and why I have such a hard time choosing it? I know that this is also a privileged position to be in. It's not that I'm not ungrateful. No, it's I don't think you have anything to apologize for. It's hard. You've got a lot of savant energy around you. It's hard when you're a savant because that, like, when you've got savant energy around you, it can sometimes create its own hurdle. Can I please get 4 cards? Yep, I was expecting that. Yep, I was expecting that. Yep. It's really funny because you asked about the fig tree, but all I keep on hearing is it's returning. I'm not hearing the tree. I'm hearing the Robert Frost poem, which is two roads diverged in a yellow wood. That's the poem I'm actually hearing in response to the fig tree, which is like how one navigates our choices. Now, one of the things I'm seeing, like the thing with the higher self, um, and I think that there's something really interesting in the space of which And I want to give a little bit of an analogy to what those who might not be aware of the fig tree analogy of Sylvia Plath. Basically, the shape of the poem or the story is such that, you know, Sylvia talks about the fact that she's in a tree and she's trying to catch figs, and the space by which she has to hold one fig means she has to drop the rest. So it's a conversation much like the Robert Frost poem in terms of navigating choices. And I like the fact, and the joke with the Robert Frost poem is, and this is often the joke, is like you talk about, like Robert Frost talks about the fact that they chose the road less traveled by. But the thing is, you can't know that, right? Like Frost says, I chose the one less traveled by, and it made all the difference. But the poem in a way is sometimes seen as a joke because you can't, if you don't have something to compare it to, you can't articulate upon the quality of the choice you made. And that's kind of like the genius of that poem, is the fact that when you read it in the first take, you'll be like, oh, it's talking about what a great choice he made, but the second is talking about the the humor in making choices is such that we don't have the clarity in terms of what we could expect if we went down a different pathway. I want you to think about that, right? I don't want you to operate into the space of worrying that you're making the wrong choices. I want you to kind of think about the space by which you're following your path is such that you're aligning to what calls, like what speaks to you. And the one thing I would say, I'm not sure if I've suggested this meditation for you, but it's being kind of called forth back to me to help you as you're navigating, because I see even now, like I keep on hearing like you're multi-hyphenate, right? Like look at this. Like this is even in the I keep on seeing, like, even in the space of being multi-hyphenate, I keep on seeing there's too many hyphens. Too many hyphens, too many hyphens. Like this is multi-hyphenate with too many hyphens. Um, I want you to start having a meditation, and basically like you're going to introduce yourself to the higher self in this meditation. It's the meditation of introduction. I want you to imagine, I want you to meditate, and I want you to imagine that you're entering a room, you're entering a party. Okay, there are all these people, there are all these people at the party. You've never met any of them, and there's somebody with you. Okay, there's somebody with you as you're going through this meditation that is escorting you through the party. They know everybody. You don't know anybody. You don't know a single person. And as you continue through the party, this person is introducing you. How do they introduce you? What do you hear them say when they tell someone who you are? Let that kind of act as the first, like that meditation to move you into the space of the higher self. Listen to what they say when they say, this is Ava. They are, and whatever they're articulating on is potentially going to speak towards how you wish to be addressed. Because when we find our purpose, ultimately, our purpose is how we choose to be addressed when we're introduced to the universe, right? That's what our purpose is. Our purpose is how we choose to be addressed to the universe. So allow that to kind of build into the shape of what you're hearing. And it might not be perfect. It might feel like it's energetically changeable, but that's why you don't have to do it. You don't have to do it. You don't have to do it once. You can do it several times. The thing I keep on seeing, I also keep on hearing, entertain the possibility that something you do hasn't been created yet. Is what I keep, like, that's the funny thing about it when I'm reading for the higher self here. Like, that's the wild part, which is to say to me, like, it's almost saying entertain the possibility that something you hear might not even feel like it's invented yet. Is what I keep on hearing. Because I keep on seeing, remember, that often in the shape of, I keep on hearing sometimes in the shape, what happens often is when something becomes multi-hyphenate, it becomes a new thing, which is like there isn't enough words to contain it, so it has to be energetically created. So I keep on seeing that there's something about the things that you like to do, like the unifying principle that connects them, is what I keep on seeing. So I feel like it does. It's funny too, because when I'm reading for this into your higher self, it's saying that that introduction, if you hear something weird, if you hear something weird, I keep on hearing the funny part about like listen the like the funny part about like that's the funny part about the meditation I'm seeing because especially with the King of Wands and the Queen of Cups, they're like listen, like they're basically saying listen, and then I keep on hearing if you hear something weird, investigate. If you hear something weird, be like, what was that? And letting that kind of like lead you into the deeper understanding of the self. Like, don't be surprised if you hear something weird, because there might be something about you articulating upon something that is you effectively defining upon a niche, is what I keep on hearing. Yeah, especially like with the especially with like the 10 of especially with the 10 of especially with the 10 of wands and its reversal. Sometimes the solution to a lot of things is to it's like the solution to a lot like the I keep on hearing we take a lot of hyphens and we build a profession, which is like you take the hyphens and you put them together, and now you've got a profession because it's the ability to articulate to another and say that this is what I do, right? And it's fine. I keep hearing, remember, you're not looking. I keep on hearing, don't look for a single thing. Look for the common thread. You remember, you're not looking to make a choice. You're seeking the common thread. Find the common denominator. This is something else you can do. Find the common denominator in terms of everything that you do to help you kind of build into that sense of focus as well. Thank you so much for having that reading with me, Ava. And if this message connected to you as well, it's very common for those who need these messages to be here to experience them. We are doing personal readings right now. If you'd like to get on the list, the list is open and we've got 3 spots left today before the list will be closed. I'm going to take a moment to read over some of the comments that came through as it was reading. And also, friends, we're at 29.2K likes. When we get to 50K, I will be gifting a reading back to the collective, so make sure you're tapping that screen. We will get to 50K in no time. All right. One moment, please. All right. Hold on a minute, please. Okay. One moment. I'm just trying to confirm something before we continue. And also, just a reminder to anybody joining us who would like to get on the list right now, we are doing here life path, highest priority messages from spirit, angelic guidance, dream interpretations, past life, mediumship, love readings, pet readings, animal spirit guide readings, akashic, and mind, body, spirit. All right. Okay. One moment, please. All right. Okay. All right. Just bear with me a minute. There we go. All right. All right. One second. No rush. Absolutely. I'm new to Discord. Welcome. And B, if your subscription's ending soon, if you'd like to renew. I love that question as well. Thank you so much for asking it, Ava, and sending me support on that journey. Yeah, exactly. My higher self would create. The higher self is reminding you that you can create your own fig. Introduction to the universe. That should be a disco channel. I like that idea, Chrissy. Absolutely. And Kathy, thank you for the gifts. You're so welcome, Ava. Group journal prompt. Absolutely. I like that. All right, Monica, if you're here, can you let me know if you'd like a general reading or if you have a specific question you'd like me to answer? And while we wait for Monica's question, let's do an intuition check. I've got the animal spirit guide cards here. We're going to count back from 10. And when we get to 1, I will reveal the card. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Well done, Ava. It was the Earth Dragon. We'll do it again after the next reading. All right. And I'm just looking. Monica, can you just let me? Oh, there it is. Thank you, dear. I'm going to pin up Monica here. Guys, make sure to give Monica some love. Life path, general, ready. Would like to verify that I'm on the right path with job and art. I got you, dear. Can I get 3 cards, please? Highest priority messages from spirit related to life path. And 1 more, please. I see you on the right path. I feel like you're on a plateau, you know? And I don't think it's negative. I don't think like a plateau isn't necessarily negative. But the thing with a plateau is sometimes it feels like there's a little bit of stagnancy in relationality to where to go, is what I keep on seeing. And sometimes I need to point out when it feels like we've hit an energetic plateau point, that's often a good time for us to start to carve a new path, is what I keep on seeing. Because I don't know why they're like, I don't know why they're saying it. Like, did you just finish something? Like I've got you in some kind of liminal space of having just completed something, and it's giving me a little bit of this like what next kind of energy around something. Um and what's hard about it is like like it's funny because I see opportunities, like I see opportunities around you. It's giving me a little bit of like water energy, like it's giving me a little bit of like water everywhere kind of energy, which is like it's not about not having opportunities, but trying to find something that grabs your interest is what I keep on hearing. Like I keep on hearing the word compelling, right? Like and the thing about compelling, like something compelling is like I keep like I feel like this is the sound of you finding your signature is what I keep on getting. And the thing about and I want to say like and this is why I keep on like I don't know why this is coming through so much, but the difference between I keep on hearing the difference between a signature and a pigeonhole rests entirely on in terms of how much you like doing it. Is what I keep on hearing. I keep on hearing the difference between a signature and a pigeonhole is defined entirely upon how much one likes doing it. And I feel like that is something that and that's what I mean in terms of like experiencing success in something. Because when we're energetically successful, then we get known for doing something. But that's what I mean. Like that's why I keep on hearing like working through the difficulty of a signature versus a pigeonhole, which is the space by which you again the difference between a signature and a pigeonhole is doing something that we're good at that feels like it's energetically compelling versus doing something someone's being like, I saw that you did this for this person, I want you to do the exact thing for me. Right? Like the modality of experiencing something and getting frustrated because you can do it effectively, but it's not necessarily something that feels like it's compelling. So I feel like there's something about working towards, I keep on hearing navigating a good stream is what I keep on hearing. And a good stream, I keep on hearing a good stream is not a flood. Like a good stream is not a flood, which means one doesn't feel, oh, like one doesn't feel underwater to such an extent that one doesn't feel like you can do something else. And I keep on hearing, if you feel like, and I think that this is really interesting, if you feel like you have too much work to do, that's usually a good sign that it's time to, I keep on hearing, it's usually a good sign that it's time to raise the, it's time to raise the water, is what I keep on seeing. Potentially like having to do something, and I keep on hearing like lifting the ceiling in terms of like how like others that come towards you is what I keep on hearing. Because I feel like, and that's what I keep on seeing right now. It's wild because I've got like the King of Swords here and it's reversal with the Ace of Wands, right? And the King of Swords with the Ace of Wands is all about direction, right? Like it's saying to me, like it's determination if you kind of stay within your comfort zone. And I feel like the positive that I'm getting is this is almost saying to me that there's something about that comfort zone that you could just like you could just do that. But if there's something, like if there's something more that you're trying for right now, like I keep on hearing like this might be a good time to be doing two things at once, is what I keep on hearing, at least in the short term, because I feel like there's something about something that you're doing right now that like it's giving me big project idea, is what I keep on seeing. Like it's giving me like it's giving me like it almost feels to me like make sure that you're taking time to introduce yourself to others, or to introduce yourself to those that you haven't, like I almost feel like even in places that you wouldn't expect to go, is what I keep on seeing. Like it feels like now is a good opportunity for you to branch out. But I keep on hearing the branching out, it's saying to me it's almost like vacational, like going somewhere else and doing something, or meeting someone like further afield of where you are, because I keep on hearing like it's like I keep on I don't know why it's like I don't know why, but I see like a lot of familiarity of you in a certain place, is all I keep on seeing. And like I keep on hearing like the way that we navigate like the familiar, and it's funny too, because like it kind of feeds into like Ava's reading on the figs. But like when we fall into too much familiarity in terms of where we are, that can often be a nice opportunity to branch out. Like it's a good opportunity to do something in a place. And it's funny too, because like as soon as I started saying that, I was like, I started getting like a bit of a heart chakra, and I feel like that's the thing about it. It's gonna be like having to work on your confidence in terms of like talking about yourself, is what I keep on hearing. Right? Like I almost feel like I feel like I keep on saying you're really good, like you're really good at what you do, but now is the time to kind of refine on your ability to talk about what you're doing, or having that energetic conversation. Um, yeah, the thing about it too, I feel like I see you getting too big for an occupation, you know? Like I'm almost observing something here. I need to point this out. Like I feel like there is a little bit of leapfrog energy here. Like I almost see something. This is what we aspire for in terms of like this is like it's feeling a lot like the hobby that becomes a profession is often articulated in the space of another person saying, I can't take it anymore. There's too much work to do, right? It's the space by which your hands are too full to be able to do both. So I feel like that and I want to say, like, especially if you're thinking about making some kind of leap in terms of something that you used to do, like supporting you, I like to point out like the best way to do that is when you say, I can't take it anymore, being like, I can't take it anymore, being like, I've got so much work to do. I don't have time to do it, is usually the vibration that says that you've got enough there to start a career with, right? So I keep on seeing, like, if you're trying to decide, like, when to make that type of leap, like, I keep on hearing, like, let the work do it for you. Like, let the space by which you've got so much to do. Like, when I keep on hearing, like, walk away from something with your hands full is what I keep on hearing, which is not the space by which you say, okay, I'm gonna go there. I'm gonna now start concentrating on something and waiting for my hands to be full. But the moment that I keep on seeing, like, your hands are so full that it doesn't make, like, it doesn't allow the context by which you're doing both. Thank you so much for having that reading with me, Monica. And if this message connected to you as well, and there is something about locationality here. I don't know what this is. I don't know if someone's offering you some kind of opportunities to go somewhere or to learn something, but like, I keep on like, I don't know if something that you do offers the ability of taking a sabbatical, but now might be a good time to, is what I keep on seeing. There's something about that type of energy on something here, right? Like, having some kind of time to, like, work on something fully. Thank you so much for having that reading with me, Monica. And if this message connected to you as well, it's very common for those who need these messages to be here to experience them. We are doing personal readings right now. If you would like to get on the list is open. It is about 3 spots left today before the list will be closed. 3 cards for a donation of 29 or more. 4 cards for a donation of 23 or more for my subscribers. Links in my bio. Please keep in mind there are 2 things I do not read for across these apps: pregnancy and medical. Happy to give insight on anything in private readings, and you can book private readings on my site. I'm going to take a moment to read over some of the comments that came through as it was reading. Yes. Okay, thank you so much, dear. I love that question. I will try that tonight. Yep, got you. I hope that helps, Monica. I've been intentional with my art, and it has been amazing connecting with others in that way. Thank you for confirmation on the reading. Julia, your subscription's ending soon if you'd like to renew. I've been introduced to stretching by out of my comfort zone with both my art and my job. Thank you for confirmation as well. You're so welcome, dear. Yeah, I feel like this is the space by which I see you branching out. Like, I see a lot of that, and it does feel locational. Thank you so much. All right, next person we're reading for right now is Bridget's reading is on hold, so the next person we're reading for today is Kath. Kath, if you're here, can you respond in all caps? Let me know if you'd like a general reading or if you have a specific question you'd like me to answer. Also, friends, we're at 29.4K likes. When we get to 50K, I will be gifting a reading back to the collective. If anybody would like to get on the list for today, the list is open. 3 cards for a donation of 29 or more. 4 cards for a donation of 23 or more for my subscribers. Links in my bio. Please keep in mind there are 2 things I don't read for across these apps: pregnancy and medical. Happy to give insight on anything in private readings, and you can book private readings on my site. We do here life path, highest priority messages from spirit, angelic guidance, dream interpretation, past life, mediumship, love readings, pet readings, animal spirit guide readings, akashic, and mind body spirit. Second call right now for Kath. Second call right now for Kath. If Kath has stepped out, the next person on the list for today is Bianca. Bianca, if you're here, can you respond in all caps? Let me know if you'd like a general reading or if you have a specific question you'd like me to answer. And while we wait for Bianca, let's do an intuition check. I've got the animal spirit guide card here. We're going to count back from 10. When I get to 1, I will reveal the card. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Queen of Swords. I am not a big fan of just seeing a bird, but you got it. Okay. There are a lot of birds in this deck. There are a lot of birds. We want to be very specific as to the bird. It's a little bit of a cheat when you say bird. Okay. But well done. Well done. Second call right now for Bianca. Second call right now for Bianca. Second call right now for second call right now for Kath or Bianca. If Kath or Bianca have stepped out of the room, the next person we're reading for today is Alexandra. Alexandra, I believe you posted in the disco. Just a reminder, if you have information that is relevant for our readings that is too long to put in the comments, you can post it in our subscriber only disco channel, or you can, for those who are super fans, or you can post it in the notes when you send the donation. Yes, there are spots open, Cassia. We've got 3 spots left today before the list will be closed. How you doing today, Alexandra? Let me just pull up your question. Is this inside tea or outside tea? And I'm going to pin up Alexandra here. Make sure to give Alexandra some love. Okay. Hi. Oh, Bianca, you have to hold on a minute. We're doing Alexandra's reading. Okay. All right. It's definitely longer. No, you have nothing to apologize for. I don't mind a long read. I just want to know if it's outside tea or inside tea. No problem. Excellent. Outside. Oh, I'm going to be vulnerable and say outside tea. I got you. All right. Lately, eclipse season has brought up situations that feel both outside and within my control. Watching my parents and grandparents struggle with health and finances. Oh my gosh. And then my father recently abandoning us because they couldn't handle it has made me reflect on how much I can help versus how much I'm simply meant to witness. I feel powerless at times. It's felt like I've been carrying the weight of multiple generations, not just myself, and it's daunting. The biggest shift I'm aiming for now is becoming an active player in my life, especially around money. I see how I've caged myself through fear, avoidance, and discomfort, choosing casual jobs over work that requires more of me. My past work experiences often left me feeling like my only choices were tied hands or chained hands because I didn't align with them to some degree. Essentially, I'm giving something up when I choose one or the other. I want to actualize my dreams while moving in a healthy way. Because right now, when I think of reentering the workforce, I feel deflated. Like I'd rather escape into the woods and garden and barter instead. I'd love insight on how to move through this aversion, or at least some clarity on what's unfolding for me. 4 cards. Two more, please. That's a lot of cards. I can't do all of them. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, that's why we need them all. I get it. Yeah. You know, I feel like there's something really important that's coming through right now in the reading in relationality to following your dreams is what I keep on hearing. And the thing about it is the difference between making ends meet and following your dreams is the understanding that a rising tide raises all ships. And I feel like that is the hurdle that you're potentially going to have to navigate right now. Because I keep on hearing, like in the conversations that you're having with others, like if others are working in the space to make ends meet, and you, it's, I keep wondering, it's not selfish to follow your dreams, particularly and especially if you see that on the other side of those dreams, it's not there it's not going to it's going to create something energetically beneficial, not just for yourself, but for those that you're energetically connected to. And I feel like that is a little bit of the hard part here, because and I feel like this is what you meant in relationality to talking about the work that you're getting right now, that feels like your hands are energetically tied. right? Because often I like to point out, like, often being in work and feeling that our hands are tied can indicate the fact that it's a space that says, I would rather not be here. I would rather not be doing this. This is the last thing that I want to do, but alas, this is where I find myself. So I keep on seeing that your path work right now is first is recognizing and understanding that there is a path work where you can have both. There is a path work. I want you to, like, this is the first thing you have to confirm to yourself. There is a path work by which you can be financially viable and doing something that brings you joy. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to write down all of the things that give you joy, right? You're going to write all of them down. Be like, these are the things I enjoy doing, right? And then I want you to start saying, what of these, like, what things that I see here can I shape a profession on? Like, what can build that energetic income, right? Because I keep on seeing that the thing about this, it's not the fact that there isn't a work available to you. And I keep on hearing the blessing here is the fact that I see that you've got a little bit of it too. Like, I keep on seeing, like, you turn around, like, I keep on hearing you turn around jobs in your lap. You know what I mean? Like, like I see some kind of energy here where it's not the fact that it's not for lack of a job. It's like you turn around, there's a job in your lap, but it's working towards, you have to say, like, the struggle point that you're looking for right now is a job with a capital P. And a job with a capital P is a profession, a job that you have passion for, right? So I want you, like, the way you're going to do that is you're going to write down your passions. And I also want you to understand that when you're energetically passionate on things, then you don't have conversations about how much you're going to get. You have conversations on what it takes to get in the door, right? It's the space by which I keep on seeing, like, the space by which you're not going to be looking for something, but instead going to be introducing yourself to another. I keep on hearing the passionate profession is one that you approach someone and say, I love what you're doing. I would love to be a part of this. How can I facilitate doing that? I am here to find out how I can facilitate being a part of what you are doing, right? And I feel like that it's going to take, right? It's going to take a little bit of time, right? It's going to and you're going to it's like I keep on saying, I don't want you to think about the fact that you're applying for things so much as you're introducing yourself to places. And the space that you're introducing yourself to places and saying, this is who I am, this is what I can do, and I would love to be here, right? Which is basically saying, like, I would like to have the opportunity to show you that I would be someone that's good here. And I feel like there's something about that work that I see you doing is potentially, like, it's going to take you where you need to go. And also further, it's going to fulfill, like, it's going to be, and like I think you articulated in the space by which you said, and I keep on seeing, like, I was really struck by the fact that you said you felt like you were carrying the weight of multiple generations. But I almost feel like the generational wound that you're healing right now is the space by which you say to another, why can't I do that? Why can't I do something I love, but while also, like, getting something back from it? And so that is the space. Like, we already see the fact, like, I keep on hearing you've got you've got too much of it. You're too, like, it's not the fact that the work isn't there for you. You've already, like, the bright side is you already have one of those things going for you. It's not the fact that you can't find something, but now you're on, like, you want hearing, now you are on the hunt. I wish Nikki was here because she loves this word. You're on the hunt for immaculate vibes, right? And you have to say that to yourself, like, I am on the hunt for immaculate vibes, which is the space to which to say it's not just about finding anything that will do. I'm looking for the right thing that I love wearing, right? It's not looking for any, it's not just looking to, and I want you to think about that. I want you to think of profession as costume. I want you to think right now as you're doing this, saying, I'm not just looking for anything. I'm not just going to throw on anything just because it keeps me covered up. I am looking for something that makes me look immaculate. And again, the space by which it says feels like it fits me, feels like it carries the shape of where I aspire to be or how I aspire to go. So I want you to like, I feel like there's something about you doing that. And I keep on hearing the nice thing about that is you can do it, you can do it. You don't have to choose one or another. You can be doing that. Like I keep on hearing you can do that. I keep on hearing you can do that in congruity to having your energetic hands tied somewhere, right? Like you can I keep wondering you can make those introductions and it doesn't cost you anything in relationality to being in the experience by which you feel energetically shackled to something. It's just like I keep on saying like that is you basically saying like I would love the opportunity to show you that I would be something that would be someone beneficial here. So I keep on seeing like again, think about it as that kind of being the space. Like look at that. I keep on hearing the word costume. One of your guides is saying think of it as costume, which is the space of you saying like, look, I know I could do anything, but I'm not looking for anything. I'm looking for something I look exquisite in. So allowing for that space of you saying, I am not, I keep on hearing, I am not shackled right now. I'm searching for exquisite. And that is you facilitating and actively doing that work to introduce yourself to places and saying, I think I would look good in here. I think I would look good. I think I would look good in here. Thank you so much. Yep. And bottom of the deck on this. Yeah. Right. And that, the end, this is confirmation with the bottom of the deck. You can do both, right? You don't have that doesn't create the space that you have to choose. That's something that you can do in continuity with something that you're currently at, right? Thank you so much for having that reading with me. And if this message connected to you as well, it's very common for those who need these messages to be here to experience them. We are doing personal readings right now. If you'd like to get on the list, I've got 2 spots available today before the list will be closed. All right. And we're also at 29.7K likes. When we get to 50K, I'll be gifting a reading back to the collective. So make sure you're tapping that screen and we'll get to 50K in no time. Yes, I got you on. Thank you for getting on the list, Cassia. You are also on the list. And if I ever say your name incorrectly, please feel free to correct me. And welcome back, Minnie. You're the next person on the list. Struggling with it. And Britton, thank you for sharing the live. Always appreciate when you guys share the live. Yes, a Victorian house in the woods. I like that. I love those questions. These are good questions today. Good to see you today, Geraldine. Cortana, I'm happy to read for you on it. I'm happy to read for you, but if you want to get on the list, you have to send a donation payment and you'll be added to the list. Yeah, it gives you claustrophobia. It sounds immaculate. Plant the seeds. I like that analogy. Absolutely. Seeds of immaculate vibes. Yes. Work and life are hard to separate for me. So I would give a lot if it's something I'm passionate a lot about. And that's what I keep on seeing, right? I keep on hearing I would give a lot to get here, which is like the space of you saying like I'm okay, like almost like you saying to another person like I'm willing to take an energetic cut to be able to come towards here with and that's what I keep on seeing in terms of you having to have a conversation with someone about like the rising tide that raises all ships is like the conversation of saying to another person like I know that I'm taking a step backward, but sometimes we take a step backward to leap into something, right? Like I keep on hearing, remember that sometimes like I keep on hearing it's not a step backward if there's a leap on the other side of it, is what I keep on getting. Thank you so much, dear. All right, the next person we're reading for today is, I'm still looking for Kath, and if Kath isn't here, the next person on the list today is Bianca. Kath or Bianca, if you're here, can you respond in all caps? Let me know if you'd like a general reading or if you have a specific question you'd like me to answer. For anyone who'd like to get on the list right now, we're doing life path, highest priority messages from spirit, angelic, dream interpretation, past life, mediumship, love readings, pet readings, animal spirit guide readings, akashic readings, and mind, body, spirit. I got the animal spirit guide cards here. Before we continue, let's do an intuition check. I'm going to count back from 10. Go ahead and put your impressions in the comments and I'll reveal the card. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The swan. Thank you guys for participating. We'll do that again after the next reading. Got the reading and the disco. Bear with me one moment. Where'd you post it? What section? General. Thank you. Okay. Mhm. Ah, there it is. I see it. Okay, and we've got outside tea here. You got two cards already out here. I'm going to pin up. Um, I've got you. I'm going to read the list for those who are interested. The list we have right now is Kath, Bianca, and then Cassia. So if anybody else gets on the list right now, you'll be the fourth person read for. We've got 2 spots left today before the list will be closed. All right, outside tea for Minnie. I'm back in the dating world and I'm feeling terrified. I want to run, but I know that won't lead to any growth. I'd like to know what my spirit guides are trying to bring to my attention. What is the shadow lesson being brought up to the surface through connections I'm making, and how to navigate it so I can be back in my confidence? Gotcha, dear. I feel like the point of confidence is coming through is that there's energy just as terrified as you. I keep on hearing that. I'm going to pin up Minnie too here. Make sure to give Minnie some love. Um, that that fear is going to be your point of entry, because everything I keep on seeing in relationality to something, um, the observation of being able to say to another person, I don't really want to be here. Like I can almost see like I almost see the energy saying, like I almost see you saying to another person, like, I don't like dating. Like I keep on seeing like the space, like letting your tongue save you to a certain extent. Because I keep on seeing that I feel like I keep on hearing the energy that's for you is gonna be the energy that says, I hate it here too. You want to get out of here, right? It's gonna be the energy that says, like, let's skip to the good part. Like, I can't stand this. I detest it as much as you. I keep on hearing, remember, like that ick. That ick is not that ick is not something that you need to fix. That's your barometer. That's a blessed ick, right? Like it's like I keep on hearing it's supposed to be ick, right? And I keep on saying I keep on hearing if there's someone you meet who loves it, they're like, this is great. You know what I mean? Like, no, I don't know what you're talking about. Then that is not the person for you, right? Like that's how you're gonna avoid the serial dater. Because that's what I see that you're worried about. Like I see here, like the serial dater is the space by which someone just likes cruising around. Ugh, you know what I mean? It's gross. Like someone who likes to like someone who enjoy, like I know it's crazy, but there's some people who enjoy like just enjoy serial dating. And so I keep on hearing like you have to say to someone, I don't like cereal. Like literally. Like you don't have to say like how do I get the how do I, the space is not it's not the space by which you say how do I get better at liking cereal? You don't. The solution is to basically just I keep on hearing like rip the band-aid off. Be like, I don't like being single. I like being in a relationship. I'm looking for someone who wants to stop dating as soon as possible. And if someone says like, "Whoa, no, you're like whoa, I don't know what you're talking about. Like that seems a little fast." That is not there you go. Look at that. The dishes did themselves. The dishes did themselves. When you dish, right? When you dish and another person is mortified by what you're dishing on, the dishes have now done themselves. So I keep on hearing, don't feel like you need to suppress that. Dish it out. Like, talk about it, because that's how you're going to meet the perfect person. The perfect person is going to say, I hate it. I hate it too. It's awful, isn't it? Oh my God, this is disgusting. You know what I mean? Like, it's gonna be the energy. It's gonna be the energy. It's gonna be like they're gonna share your grossness about the whole thing. Let the dishes get the dishes done, which is saying don't try to make it seem like you love it. Be like, this, I hate it. It's disgusting. Like, it's disgusting. like talk, let that disgust, like, let that disgust bless the situation, is what I keep on seeing. um and I feel like there's, and I keep on hearing, like, even like, and I keep on hearing, like, and this is what we talk about with, and I think that you brought it up, like, this is what we talk about with shadow work. That's the funny thing about shadow work. Shadow work is not those moments that we look at something and go, oh, I need to clear myself of that. I need to clear myself of the disgust. No, if the disgust is holding to a standard, this is what we talk about with shadow work. You don't want to get rid of that. You need that, right? I told you, like, the shadow work, we do the shadow work to understand things that we don't like. Sometimes it's not about fixing them, it's honoring the fact that we don't like them. So I almost feel like that if that's your shadow, let your shadow come out. There's nothing wrong with that shadow. That's a good shadow. It's a good shadow. It's a good shadow, because it's you saying, I hate this because it's not up to my standards. I wish I wasn't here. This is not at all what I aspire for. But and then what happens when you talk about the shadow? I would far more prefer, right? And this is what we talk about with shadow work. We confront the shadow, and then we find the energetic light. I hate it here, right? And if someone says, I don't know what you talk about, guess what? That shadow just protected you. That shadow just protected you from someone who's a serial dater, who's like, oh God, you're one of them. You're one of that. Like, again, you're one of them. Like, again, and if you reveal your energetic shadow and say, I don't like this, and someone goes, you're one of them, there you go. Dishes are done. Dishes are done. But the energy that says, oh, I know, right? Like, this is, you know what I mean? Like, now we're energetically getting somewhere. So I want you to say, I don't want you to feel like you're trying to become stronger. I don't want you to feel like you're trying to get rid of that fear. I want you to get more honest in it. I want you to get more honest with it. Bottom of the deck, because when we share our fear, we find those that are for us, which is the space by which we articulate how we feel. And it's a moment that another person says, oh, thank God, you too. Right? Like, oh, thank God. Right? It's the moment that we say something and the other person goes, oh, thank God. Right? It's like the sigh of relief in not feeling that you have to kind of go through the motions with something, or the fact that you have to pretend that you like something that you don't. Right? The honesty that becomes the refreshment point. It's very much in alignment with what we saw in today's reading, right? Don't try to weaken your tea. Make your tea stronger. And if someone does not have a taste for your tea, like that is not rejection. That's an energetic blessing, because the energy that is for you is going to love your tea. They're going to delight in it. They're going to share it. They're going to say, "Oh, thank goodness. Oh, what a relief. Your tea is so refreshing." Thank you so much for having that reading with me, Minnie. And if this message connected to you as well, it's very common for those who need these messages to be here to experience them. We are doing personal readings right now. We've got 2 spots left today before the list will be closed. 3 cards for a donation of 29 or more. 4 cards for a donation of 23 or more for my subscribers, Binks in my Lio. Please keep in mind there are 2 things I don't read for across these apps: pregnancy and medical. Happy to give insight on anything in private readings. And you can book private readings on my site. I'm going to take a moment to read over the comments that came through as I was reading. And we're also at 30.8K likes. When we get to 50K, I will be gifting a reading back to the collective. So make sure that you're tapping that screen. We'll get to 50K in no time. Oh, Trishina, good to see you today, dear. Yeah, Cancer Midheaven. I totally get it, Alexandra. Mhm. Excellent. Yeah, I really don't like dating. This is exactly the conversation I had when I met my ex. Oh, that's beautiful, Bridget. Let's skip the small talk. I asked him to come over tomorrow just so we could talk deeply. That's beautiful, Minnie. Yep, let them do the dishes. Yep, exactly. Cinderella, Cinderella. I'm ready to relax and have an everyday life with them instead of following the rules on dating. You see, and that's the thing. Like again, the energy that's for you is going to be like, I love that. Yeah, Aquarius in the fifth house. Yep, exactly. Lean into it. Yep. Tell him you're a baby deer, no sudden movements. That's very funny. Yep, I have a game you can play with him. I'll tell. Ooh, oh, okay. Excellent. Oh, hi there, Trishina. Oh, you just changed your username on a collective space to T. That's great. How are you doing today, Balda? You're so welcome, Minnie. I love these synchronicities. That's so wild. That's so cool. John, if you want to have a reading, you have to send the donation. That's how you get on the list for a reading. I also do one card readings for super fans. We'll be doing that later today at 6 p.m. Eastern. Just a reminder to my super fans, we will be doing a super fan only live at 6 p.m. So if you'd like to become eligible for one card, you can become a super fan. Also, when you subscribe and become a super fan, you'll have access to our subscriber only disco channel, where you'll find the special coupon code for a discount on our tarot class subscription program. All right, next person we're reading for today. I am looking for Kath. Kath, if you're here, let me know. If Kath is not here yet, the next person we're reading for is Cassia. How are you doing today, Epic? Again, I'm happy to read for you if you'd like to send the donation. That's how you have a reading. So you can go over to the link that's in my bio and send the donation. You'll be added to the list. That's for anybody else who's across in the other apps as well. We do here Life Path, highest priority messages from Spirit, Angelic, dream interpretation, past life, mediumship, love readings, pet readings, animal spirit guide readings, Akashic, and mind, body, spirit. Okay, you sent an email. Got it. Just bear with me one moment, please. Let's see. Okay. All right. Is this, Cassia, is this inside tea or outside tea? And as we wait, let's do an intuition check. I've got the animal spirit guide card here. We're going to count back from 10. And when we get to 1, I will reveal the card. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We got the fox. All right, let's get to it. All right, outside tea. I had this amazing time with this guy I was dating a year ago. And I'm going to pin up Cassia here. Hold on a moment. Guys, make sure to give Cassia some love. One moment, please. Oh, that's strange. I can't pin you. Not sure why I can't pin you. Okay, I can't pin Cassia, but make sure to give Cassia some love. I had this amazing time with this guy I was dating a year ago. There was a spark between us. We had fun. Intimacy was wonderful. To be honest, I never experienced something like that before. It was magical. We dated for like 2 weeks. We didn't talk about a relationship, but it felt like it was the only way it would lead to. All of a sudden he became distant. I tried to call him. He said things like he has to work a lot. I texted him again to only find out he would not answer. He left me on red. What on earth happened? Was I too pushy? Was it only an affair? Was I the only one thinking the connection was special? I cannot let go of this right now. Can you help me? I've dated after that, but nothing like that. Why does it have such a big impact? When I know, okay, when others, why does it have such a big impact when others behave like this? I still don't have the ick towards him because I really like him. Am I crazy? You're not crazy. All right. Can I please get, thank you so much for your honesty. Can I get 3 cards, please, for Cassia? Highest priority messages from spirit to help in terms of understanding what's going on with that connection. It's in relationality to the last reading we just did. Yeah, they're a serial dater. They're a serial dater. 2 weeks are what they do. They go through a rotation. They go through a rotation. They go through a rotation of about 2 or 3 weeks, and then just as things start to feel like they're picking up speed, they disappear. I would not be surprised if this energy tries to reach out again. I know even like I know you're saying it's been a year, but I would not be surprised in the space by which I'm identifying. Like I would not be surprised in the space by which this type of energy tries to reach out again because and I keep on seeing they're trying to allow for enough of a span of time. Like they're trying to allow for enough of a span of time that that I keep on hearing like they're trying to avoid the question of what happened in terms of them saying like that like like I keep on seeing like it's like it's saying to me it's like a memory erase moment. Like it's like 2 weeks and then you have to wait long enough that basically like the space by which you bring it up would almost make them feel like, oh, I can't believe you're still holding on to that. It's okay to hold on to it. You should continue to hold on to it because I keep on seeing like the space by which like I keep on hearing like the space by which another person keeps us on energetic rotation should be the observational point. The sign that you saw that this was occurring was the fact that they were never clear about their manifestation goals, right? The fact that they said that they wanted like the fact that they didn't articulate in terms of what it is that they were looking for, the fact that they didn't articulate upon the fact that they were seeking relationship, like that's a hard part with energy like this. It works upon the assumption, like it works upon others assumption, like they work upon the assumption that you assume that something is going in that direction but never actually talking about it. The lesson to effectively take from this is making sure that you have a conversation about manifestation goals before you proceed into connection. Because I'll tell you right now, this type of energy, when you start talking to them about relationship, they'll probably stop talking to you. Like if it's like the minute you start talking about connection and they go silent, I wouldn't be surprised if something that you said in that conversation made some kind of assumption upon the fact that there was a connection between you, right? And the space by which you said something that assumed, like almost being like, so I'll like, I bet you said something like, so I'll see you again next week, right? Right? Like the space by which you start to assume the things that one would logically assume, that was probably when they pulled away, right? Because they're stuck on liking the new car energy of a fresh relationship. They like they're like energetically addicted to that passionate space where they're getting to know someone, but not necessarily having all like the joys of like a passionate connection without any of the actual messy details of relationship. I would absolutely not reach out for clarity because I wouldn't be surprised if like if you reach out for clarity if you get back crickets because again energy like this, I told you, like energy like this will probably make you feel like they'll try to articulate that you're being weird or needy in the space that you're asking honest questions, right? I would not be surprised if they like if you tried to have a conversation with energy like this and they respond and go, why are you obsessed with me? Right? Like this is exactly like this is what I mean in terms of because like the whole thing I need to point out with energy like this, it's like when the minute you start assuming things, they'll start like the minute you start assuming things, now you are obsessive, right? The moment that you start assuming things in terms of what like the logical conclusion, right? Like the logical conclusion, it's like the energy that experiences something and says whatever gave you that idea. Like it's giving me a lot of that type of energy because I keep on seeing like they it's like the no strings attached energy and I feel like that's the hard part about it. Like I keep on seeing like this is the energy that says as long as there's no strings attached, it's available to you. But the minute you start to form an energetic attachment, which is a logical progression of a relationship, they dip away. They're probably doing this to a lot of people. And actually, I'd say be very wary right now because considering it's been a year, this is probably around the time that they'll probably try to reach back out to you. They'll probably be like, "Hey, it's been a while." They'll probably try to gloss over the fact that they'll try to gloss over the fact that there was ever any pause in correspondence. They'll be like, "Oh, we lost touch." They're gonna say we lost touch like it wasn't something that they weren't trying to touch. Remember the difference between someone saying we lost touch versus someone making the intentional choice not to touch something. Bottom of the deck on this reading, yeah, King of Pentacles. They don't want anything serious. I would not be surprised if this is someone who does not stay in relationship, or if they're in a relationship, like the longest relationship they've had potentially spans a week of spans like a few months, maybe, if you're lucky, is what I keep on seeing. Because it's a type of relationship, like they have relationships, they're in relationships with people, but they refuse to define them, right? They're in relationships with people, and like the less that you demand of them, the more you can be in relationship. It's like the ephemeral relationship, which is like as long as you don't ask what it is, and as long as you're okay with the fact that it's just like they're like ephemeral, then it's there for your at your fingertips. But the minute you start trying to build tangibility into it, it disappears. It's not healthy. So I feel like it's good that you came for this reading because it's saying to me, I'm getting very strong indications. I wouldn't be surprised if this energy is reaching out to you sooner rather than later because I keep on hearing it's been a year. It's perfect timing for them to reach out again and say, "Hey, we lost touch. How are you doing? Been a while," right? It's not, I keep on hearing, remember, been a while is not them saying been a while. It's saying, I made the intentional choice not to touch you. I've made the intentional choice of not reaching out to be able to kind of have that fresh experience again. Thank you so much for having that reading with me, Cassia. And if this message connected to you as well, it's very common for those who need these messages to be here to experience them. We are doing personal, and the reason I keep on saying the reason that you're feeling connected to them is because they cause trauma to you. Like the energy they create, like that type of energy creates trauma when they do that because it's the space of you saying, "I don't understand what happened," right? Which often can create that feeling of the volatility of a connection. So I want you, if you're feeling like that or you're still feeling connected, I want you to write down all of the things you liked about that energy, but I don't want you to attach a name to it. I want to say these are the things my divine counterpart does. Right? Allow that to be the space of finding someone that'll give you those benefits, but with the relationship connected to it. Thank you so much for having that reading with me, Cassia. And if this message connected to you as well, it's very common for those who need these messages to be here to experience them. We are doing personal readings right now. If you would like to get on the list is open. I have 2 spots available today before the list will be closed. 3 cards for a donation of 29 or more. 4 cards for a donation of 23 or more for my subscribers. Thanks in my bio. Please keep in mind there are 2 things I don't read for across these apps: pregnancy and medical. Happy to give insight on anything in private readings, and you can book private readings on my site. We do here life path, highest priority messages from spirit, angelic, dream interpretation, past life, mediumship, love readings, pet readings, animal spirit guide readings, Akashic, and mind body spirit. We're also at 32.8K likes. When we get to 50K, I'll be gifting a reading back to the collective, so make sure you're tapping that screen. We'll get to 50K in no time. It's also a wonderful time to get on the list. If you get on the list right now, you'll be the next person read for. I'm going to take a minute to read over some of the comments that came through as I was reading. Excellent. Absolutely. I did leave out I left out the A word. I did leave out the A word. I'm trying to keep this, polite, but I understand the feeling. Yes. Yes, so many. The shift is wild. I can relate to this. Have a conversation before. Yeah, make sure that you're talking. This type of energy, make sure you don't make sure the conversation on relationship isn't the first question you have. Make sure isn't the last question you have. It's the first question you have. Be like, what are you looking for? I'm looking for something stable. I'm looking for something steady. And if they, I keep on hearing, if they don't if they don't articulate, their own desire of doing so, then let that, if they disappear when you try to do so, let that be your affirmation to effectively avoid them. I mean, the problem with reaching out for clarity with an energy like that is they're gonna articulate the fact that you're being obsessed with them. That is a type of energy that when you I would not be surprised if when you meet someone like that, they say that everybody's obsessed with them because it's not. The sound of obsession is a bunch of people saying what happened, trying to ascertain what's going on in terms of the fact that they never got any clarity from them. Julia, your subscription's ending soon if you'd like to renew. I know it's incredibly unfair. And I hope this message helps you heal from it. But that's why I keep on getting a strong message. If they reach out, don't let them say like, hey, it's been a while. Like none of this, like, oh, I just realized we haven't connected. Remember, it was an intentional choice. I feel, it's hard, like an energy like that. I see that they're very, very self-centered. I see somebody that only like I see somebody who is working through a lot of the space of not necessarily not wanting an actual relationship, but wanting all of the energetic perks of one. So it says to me like it's almost like it's the hard part with an energy like that is it's like it feels like it's almost like it feels they kind of move through things with the feeling like again it's like they try to have relationship, but then when someone starts putting the energy toward them of a normal relationship, they say, why are you obsessed with me, not recognizing that a healthy relationship is about mutual obsession. Like that is the shape of a relationship. A healthy relationship is a healthy mutual obsession for each other. It's like, yep, not until it's too late. Exactly. Thank you guys for supporting each other in the comments and sending you support on that journey, Cassia. Yep. It's incredibly rude. It's incredibly rude. Remember how rude it is when they reach out because I have a feeling it's probably going to be sooner rather than later. Oh, thank you, Jana. I appreciate that. And Alexandra, thank you for those gifts. Ella, what do you say to friends like this? They disappear. The thing with friendship, and we can kind of talk about this with friendship, and we talk a little bit about healthy orbits. Friendship, like friendship, we're building upon, and I need to point this out, like friendship should not be obsessive. Like friendships, we understand that we operate in the space of having orbit to each other. And so often, and this is why we talk about like lifelong friends. It's like the type of friend where like you don't see each other a long time, but then you get together and it's like nothing has happened. It's like as we maturate, it's the logical understanding that we don't effectively center friendship. So it's different. It's different in the context of friendship because it has more to do with like what we expect from friendship versus what we're effectively receiving. And that's sometimes like again, friendship is interesting because everybody has different expectations and relationality to it. So I keep on seeing like if you don't feel like someone is managing those expectations properly, like it's almost like speaking towards the fact of like finding a friend that wants the same intensity that you're seeking in a friendship. Like that's the thing about it. Like I like to describe friendships as healthy orbits. That when we have healthy orbits, like we don't like we understand that we're not the center of each other's effective worlds, right? Continuing to get clear, the next person on the list today is Kath. Kath, if you're here, can you respond in all caps? Let me know if you'd like a general reading or if you have a specific question you'd like me to answer. And if Kath is not here, oh, Kath, I see you, dear. Welcome. Thank you for those gifts. I see you gifting. You have to put your. I'm not seeing your words coming through. Now is a great time to get on the list. By the way, if anybody would like to get on the list, you'll be the second person read for today. We are doing 3 cards for a donation of 29 or more. For super fans, it's 4 cards for a donation of 23 or more. Binks in my Lio, please keep in mind there are 2 things I don't read for across these apps: pregnancy and medical. We do life path, highest priority messages from spirit, angelic, dream interpretation, past life, mediumship, love readings, pet readings, animal spirit guide readings, akashic, and mind body spirit. And Hardy P, thank you so much for those gifts. Second call right now for Kath. Second call right now for Kath. Okay. If Kath is not here, final call for anyone who would like a full reading today. I know I see her here too. Like that's the thing that seems a little bit like I'm a little bit unclear because I see her liking the live, but I don't see her comments coming through. So Kath, just a heads up, if you're posting, something that you're posting is being filtered. So I just want to confirm that. Also, Kath, if you're having that issue, you can also go to the Disco channel and you can post your question there. So I do want to give it another minute. And also just a reminder, if anybody else wants to get on the list right now, it's a great time to get on the list because you'll be the next person read for. All right. Just say we know it's just say hey, hey, so we know it's not a Cap, solve the mystery for us. Solve the mystery that we see you giving gifts, but we don't see your comments coming through. Help explain it. We need answers. I'm glad it's not just me. Nobody else is seeing it either. Yeah, exactly. All right. I guess I'm assuming Kath is I'm either assuming Kath is having issues with the feed or that they're being pulled away for the moment. So I want to thank you guys so much for being here right now. So we will be back on. Final call for anyone who would like a full reading. Just a reminder, if you became a super fan today, I would encourage you to head over to our super fan only disco channel. In that super fan only disco channel, you will find a special coupon code that will give you a discount to our tarot class subscription program. Our next tarot class is going to be held on Wednesday, October 15th at 6 p.m. PST, 9 p.m. Eastern. We are going to be continuing our studies in the tarot with a focus on the moon card. I also want to let you guys know that for any of my super fans who are here today, I will be back on this evening at 6 p.m. at 3 p.m. PST, 6 p.m. Eastern, to do the Superfan one card readings. If you would like to be eligible for having a one card reading this evening, all you need to do is subscribe and become a superfan, and you'll have access to that live when it comes through. As soon as we get off the live here, I will be creating that event, and you can go ahead and register for it. I want to thank you guys so much for being here today and sharing in these messages. If you missed the Daily Collective, it'll be up later today on the place where we keep the videos. It'll also be up on the place where we keep the photos. It'll also be up later as a podcast over on my Spot and over on my Substack, on my Stack. I want to thank you guys so much for being here today and sharing in these messages. Huge thank you to my followers, old and new. Your ongoing support means the absolute world to me. Huge thank you to my subscribers. Thank you so much for supporting my work, and thank you for being who you are. And thank you so much, my mods. Have a beautiful day. Please take care of yourselves. Please take care of each other, and we'll do this again tomorrow. Have a good talk to you guys later this evening.